Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Despite a 3-0 lead late in the third, the Blue Jackets were stunned by the Bruins 4-3 in a shootout Sunday night. Boston's Pavel Zacha scored with 11 seconds left of the game to send it to OT before Victor Arvidsson scored the game winner. Jackets second in the East wild card at 88 points. NFL, per reports, Browns opted not to sign Bills defensive end A.J. Epinesa, citing concerns from his physical. The sides first agreed to a one-year deal March 19th. MLB, Reds host the Pirates at 6:40, and the Guardians visit the Dodgers at 10:10. College hoops, per reports, Charleston has hired Akron head coach and former Ohio State assistant John Gross as its next head coach. Gross led the Zips to 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit SleepBetterColumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, good to be back with you. Hope everybody had an awesome weekend. Here we are, Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the Loose Cannon Boys. How we feeling?
What up, what up? I am feeling good, man. It's always a good day when I get to chop it up with you and our wonderful listeners. So shout out to you guys. However you're listening, whether you're in the chat, on the app, in the car, we appreciate and love you. So, yeah, I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Outstanding. Better than Duke right now, that's for sure. And probably a little better than the CBJ. And definitely probably better than Tiger and some other things. So we got a robust show for you today.
Yeah, we do.
And, you know, the Duke thing was out of nowhere because those two games were kind of duds. The Sunday games were heading towards blowouts. Mm-hmm. They were duds. They were like a foregone conclusion. And, you know, you go back and you watch Duke this year, and the only 2 games they lost, they had leads, but they only lost 2 all year. And how are you going to go undefeated at that level? But this has been their calling card, and it's a bad one to have. It is. No one's going to shame anybody for losing a tough game in an Elite Eight, trip to go to the Final Four and all that. It's the way they lost. And we'll play a clip from John Shire, and I understand what he's doing, Matty. I understand why he's trying to take ownership. And the big rant for me is I know why they do it, but I don't like it when coaches point to, well, there were a million things that happened in that game that arrived at this. It wasn't this play. It wasn't one play that lost it. I hate that because that doesn't matter to me.
It's a way to ease the pain. Yeah. I think if you're a player or coach to identify a series of events prior to that walk-off from UConn that makes you feel a little better if you're a coach, I think that's what that is. It's a little medicine for you.
And it's to take the heat off his players.
Correct.
Which I understand is a coach's responsibility. And at the end of the day, it is his fault, even though you could make the case that these are very good players. But the ball wound up getting in the hands of an 18-year-old kid and needed to be schooled and coached and call a timeout before, get everything set. And I understand why you want to save the timeout, because if for some reason there's a tie-up and UConn's getting the possession arrow, but if you feel like UConn is not going to foul, which, by the way, they would have, maybe they would have started with trapping, and maybe they would have eventually, maybe they would have seen if they could tie you up and steal the possession.
They were trying to foul. Before it got to Caden Boozer, you go back and watch, I can't remember who the Duke player was on the baseline, but he gets the ball back from Cam Boozer, and there's a UConn player sprinting over to the guy on the baseline for Duke and trying to foul him.
Now, remember, the 10 seconds is fine. And that's not like 3 seconds. So I understand, even though you don't have to get the ball over the timeline and you can just wait to get fouled, the idea, if you can, is to burn a little time in case you miss both free throws. If you miss both free throws, you don't want UConn to have 7 seconds to come down.
Right.
Or even if you miss one, then they got a chance to tie it. And so I kind of understood. I was trying to go through my mind because my initial thing was, this is the most idiotic thing I have ever seen.
On whose part?
On Duke's part.
Caden Boozer?
On Duke in general, mostly the coach. Like, his job is to get his team to the finish line. All right, I'm forgetting about they were up 19. Okay, that's bad, right?
Yeah, that's tough.
But UConn is coached very well. They come back. And by the way, this puts to rest that narrative, the other narrative that I hate, which is, because we do this in football with individual players, but we never seem to do it in basketball.
Oh, what do we do? We
do the, why give that player credit when he's the one that dug the hole? Like, really? Like, so we shouldn't give UConn credit for coming back because they're the ones that dug their own hole?
We have to give them credit.
Of course. They came back. Yeah. They made it a game. Because to me, it was, is UConn going to lose by 12 or 15? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if they make a 3, okay, big deal. Right. So I started thinking to myself, okay, scenario. Young team, young players. You've blown the 19-point lead. You're up 3, and you rescued it a little bit. Like, you're in position to win that game. Everyone would agree that 99 out of 100 times Duke's winning that game. And let's not forget, and I've already buried the lead, he still had to make the damn shot.
Nothing but net.
Like, Mullins, insane. Mullins, man.
Just
print the T-shirt. I'll print that shirt. Mullins-sane, because I couldn't believe from the logo. And he had the greatest soundbite. It was, I was trying to get the ball to someone who had actually made one. And then Caravan gave it back to me. Right. And then I had to shoot it from the logo, and it was nothing but net. And so at that point,
it was great.
So I have buried the lead. And I'm not even sure. You know what? I lied. Okay. I think the lead is Duke blowing the game. It isn't Mullins hitting the shot. I think it's close. But today,
I think it's the buzzer beater.
The 19-point lead. It's the having the ball.
What's
going to
be remembered?
He'll remember hitting the shot. But my point is,
I think we'll all remember the shot.
That's fine. Right? But today, I came in here today thinking, because I just did that naturally. I put the shot behind the choke. I just did, in my own mind.
Okay, for me, it's the shot. That's what. So
you came in today thinking this wasn't Duke blowing the game. It was this guy hitting the great shot.
What I will remember is the shot over the collapse. I guess I'm kind of numb AR to basketball leads fading away that are 20 points or less. Like, it's not as shocking to me anymore to see that. I know that's kind of a pet peeve of yours, is like protecting these leads in basketball.
Get them to the finish line.
How many teams can't close the deal. But that's one of those memories inside of March Madness that I will remember for sure. Right. And I got a text from my mom yesterday. Her and my dad were watching the game, and she told me we let out a scream when that bucket goes in for Mullins. It was one of those, I think, that will stick with a lot of people because that's the magic of the tournament and what we love. And now Duke's in this interesting spot, especially Shire, right? Because you take over this program. Coach K, one of the best to ever do it, if not the best to ever do it. And because of what happened to them last year against Houston, believe in the Final Four, and that collapse leads. and then now this, to your point, almost a 20-point lead you lose with another opportunity to go to the Final Four. Now it's what I always say. When you're a coach or a player, you're in the spot of regular season's not going to matter much. Just getting to the dance is not going to matter much. He was brought in to get them back to relevancy as far as winning national championships. And now what's going to be attached to his name and his program's name is Duke can't find a way to close out the deal when they're almost there.
So I agree with everything you said. And then you add another yet at times 100 because you're Duke.
No doubt.
Like, if you're a coach at a mid-major and you got to the second round in your first season, and you got to an Elite Eight in your second season, and you got to the Final Four in your third season, and you were a contender to win the national title, and this happens, like, no one's probably killing you.
Yeah.
But this is not correct. This is Duke.
And it's not like, right, Duke, the fan base is going to be like, hey, you know what? We'll get them back in fall when football rolls around.
It's a great run.
This is what we do. Like, we're back to your point. Like, we're Duke. We're Hoopers. Like, this is what our brand is recognized for.
They lost 2 games this year before this.
Yeah, I know, man.
And I'm telling you, when I look at their season, I mean, all the Quad 1A wins, 5 were during the non-conference. They won at Michigan State. They beat Florida at home. They won neutral sites against Kansas and Arkansas. And in late February, Michigan. Like, this was a team. Like, throw in the sweep of Louisville and then the absolute dismantling of Virginia. And, I mean, we all knew Duke was capable of beating anyone. Now, they struggled early on, and maybe that's because their mindset was we're the overall number one. We'll kind of work our way into the tournament. But they were starting to get a narrative this year of that they would just be the survive and advance team, that somehow they were going to get it done. They got it done against St. John's, and they were going to get it done even though they blew that lead. And so this is who they are. Their 2 losses this year, somehow they blew let's see. They were led by 9 points with 7 minutes to go in both of their regular season losses. Was that Texas Tech and they lost to another good team. Who was it this year? There was 2 of them.
The Monstars.
That I would actually give them a pass if they blew a lead against the Monstars. It was Tech and a good team, a tournament team. It wasn't a nothing.
I've got North Carolina as an L.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah,
so it was Carolina. So it was a rival game.
Okay.
All right. So we get to John Shire, and TLC has this. This is Shire in the postgame press conference discussing the absolute debacle of losing a 19-point lead with a trip to the Final Four on the line.
We just have to secure it, right? I mean, we got it. They had a foul. I was ready for a timeout, and we just got to hold on. And it's easy to look at that play. You know, I look at every play that happened, especially in that second half. This is not about one play. It's about every play to put us in that position. And that's what you don't want to do. Where one play, something can happen. And so for me, look, it's going to be tough, but it's not going to be on one play.
I like him. He's 100% wrong. And I know he has to say it. It is about one play.
Can't go home with that timeout.
It's absolutely about one play.
Can't go home with that timeout.
And by the way, I'm willing to actually give him the timeout if he feels his guys have been instructed really well, because you want to hold on to that timeout in case you do get fouled. You do miss one free throw. And maybe you want to set your defense there. Like, I understand that part of it.
I just think, when there's that type of chaos going on, I think the coach needs to step in and say, let's reset here,
take a breather. Free throw line. There really wasn't chaos.
Let's take a breather here, because it just wasn't clean to me, that operation. And once that ball gets to Caden Boozer and that trap's coming, like, I'm calling timeout immediately if I'm Shire, and resetting and relaying all the messages from me as a coach to my players and what I think is ideal in that situation. You just can't go home with that TO.
I'm probably taking it even before the inbound. If I'm going to burn it, I'm going to burn it after DeMary makes his second. I'm just going to burn it there. But the problem is you can't burn it there, because if you can't get the ball in, you got no timeout then.
Right.
And then you lose possession. So in my mind, I'm actually going to give him a pass for maybe keeping it in his pocket, because it was at the free throw line. It wasn't after a made basket. It wasn't all that. Like, they had time to tell everybody and yelled at everybody after DeMary missed the first one. All right, we don't need to get this ball over the timeline. There's 10 seconds left. And he did say, we're going to be strong on the ball. And after they made that first pass, they were probably good in just holding on to it. But my goodness, it is about one play. And I was talking to my brother, and I said, if Boozer, and there's no way to do this, if Boozer just throws a hand grenade, just lobs it straight up in the air, they're probably winning the game. There were 2 Duke guys in the front court with nobody else.
Yeah.
If that ball tips a little differently, deflects a little differently, but what really the result is, he didn't need to pass the ball. And here we are. And again, now they're thinking about it.
Credit to UConn, right? Mullins splashes that bucket in. Away they go.
Incredible.
This brand right now, that being the Huskies, is absolutely on one recently with winning natties recently over the last couple of years. Now they're going back to the Final Four. So congrats to Hurley and that crew, because that is a train that is rocking and rolling in March Madness here recently.
I'll finish with this. UConn went 5 for 23 from 3. And the one we will remember is the one that stole the game.
History.
And that's all that matters.
No question.
And that's why we love March. It's undefeated. We come back. Jackets and the pressure. Now starting to really feel it with 8 to go. We'll do it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Take your
shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai. Shoot the hoop to get extra savings on your new car purchase. On top of big shot savings like 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucson's for up to 5 years. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. It's the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or GLakesHyundai.com. With proof credit, some customers may not qualify. Interest to cruise during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/31.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver. Leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
One more play-by-play. It's on the Fan 2. March Madness, Reds baseball, Ohio State athletics, and much more. Find the Fan 2 on the Fan's HD2 channel and 1460 on the AM dial.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or give us a call and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see mostly cloudy skies here for today with highs into the lower 70s here this afternoon. And then for tomorrow, we'll see more partly cloudy skies, some more sunshine, and even warmer temperatures with highs in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. It will be very windy as winds gust out of the southwest at 40 miles per hour. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, so rough weekend.
Before you get going on that, because we got some goodies we're giving away today.
Alrighty.
We're doing a little lineup change today since we're back to 3 hours. Let's start there. So the floor is yours. Usually is going to be where usually was on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. That will now go back to Mondays at 1 o'clock. So 614-821-9710 is our phone number. If you don't know what the floor is yours is, we open the phone lines up to you guys because we love hearing from you. So anything you want to get off your chest, sports-related, life-related, whatever it may be, call TLC 614-821-9710. Again, that will be at 1 o'clock now on Mondays. We are also giving away some goodies this week as well, TLC. What do we have for the wonderful listeners?
Oh, we got Aviators tickets that we're giving away. So that will be winner gets tickets to the Aviators inaugural game Friday night at Historic Cruise Stadium. Free T-shirts for the first 5,000 fans. Gavin DeGrasse performing at halftime. He's pretty good. Kickoff will be at 8. Additional tickets can be purchased at uflaviators.com. So we are giving away tickets today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
There you go.
Nice, because I'm glad you said tickets, because every time you say that, I think we're giving away a pair of sunglasses.
I thought we were giving away cruises.
That, well, yes.
Well, I guess it's Aviators.
Sunglasses
so
to
flights.
wear on the cruise.
Yes.
Yeah. When he says we're giving away a pair of Aviators, I always think, okay.
We're giving away flights,
old school,
actually.
Ray-Bans in there.
I got a question
a naval
for you.
aviator.
I got a question, Rothman. So
we're on a first name basis.
And
we know each other.
Anthony, nice to talk to you. This one comes from my questions for Anthony folder.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So about John Shire in the last segment and how he said that the game doesn't come down to just the final play and how you disagreed with that. How can he not feel that way, though, when he had a 19-point lead? Like, isn't your big take, if you're the coach and you lose that on the final play of the game and, yeah, Caden Boozer, just throw it over the guys instead of getting it tipped, and then all of a sudden you have the ricochet that leads to the three-pointer for UConn. But if you're in that position and you blow a 19-point lead, how is your perspective not, we shouldn't have been in that position in the first place?
It's always about that situation, regardless of what it is. And I understand momentum in sports. I get that it can go the other way. And and that's why I said I give Mullins credit for hitting a shot from the logo. If that shot doesn't go in, we're not even, we're talking about them blowing a 19-point lead, but they survive in advance, and that's what they get. And you would have went on Twitter, and it would have said survive in advance. That's all it would have said. It wouldn't have said, boy, Shire is overrated, or Duke should have lost. Well, maybe it would have said they should have lost, but honestly, that's what this sport has. I got an email about this Duke choke, and I tried to write Eric back, but maybe put in a phony email. I don't know. It says that if that's the way I feel about Shire, then if every kicker that misses a last-second field goal in a football game is the one that lost the game, he says that I've said that it's not on the kicker if he misses, and the team should not have been in that situation. I think you got a different host. I'm being really honest. I do not say that. If it's a 27-yarder, I am. But I'm also putting on things that lead up to that. Like, if you got a running back that's going to run out of bounds 3 times on the way to an eventual game-sealing kick, and then with the kicker misses it, I'm going to point out.
Has anybody done that before?
Yes, that running back probably could have helped us kill the clock a little bit.
Who are you speaking
I'm not
of here?
speaking of any. I'm just saying.
What team did that?
I'm just saying. And so this is not a science. You don't have to pin somebody down to, you said that, and remember when you said this. Like, let's all think about that game yesterday. I don't care. He blew a 19-point lead. It was awful. UConn had a lot to do with coming back. Okay, he's got to coach better and get that team to the finish line. It didn't happen. But he got him within 10 seconds with a 2-point lead. So now at that point, he's got to instruct his team the best he can. I think he felt like he did that. But then an 18-year-old kid had a lob that came up a fingernail short. But it's still, I'm putting more on the coach than the player. I am. In that point, that's all. I think there was a little nuance to it, as we've talked about already, that this team wanted to keep their time out in case they got tied up, in case they couldn't get the ball in. I think he felt like he had instructed his team. Now, be strong. Unless you were in the huddle, I don't know exactly the detail he said. Do I think that John Shire said to them, hey, we do not have to take this ball over the timeline? I don't think he said that. I don't think he said that. And if he did, then maybe he's just protecting his guys. I would love to know if he said that. And if I was in that press conference, that's what I'm asking him. Did you instruct your team that with 10 seconds, there was no need to get the ball over the timeline, that wasn't an objective of this possession?
I think a lot of parties can absolve some of the blame here. I do. I think it can be Shire. I think it can be both Boozer brothers, especially Caden, for trying to make that pass. They're coming to foul you. UConn was clearly trying to foul in that situation. That was I think the direction from Hurley coming out of that huddle or going into that situation was, we're fouling here. And you had a young guy in Caden Boozer, who his number has had to been called here recently, who had a solid game. But in that moment, I think that's a freshman losing his mind a little bit and panicking a little bit. So I think it can be Shire. I think it can be Caden Boozer. I think it can be the collapse along the way as well. But you have to credit, I think, UConn, too, for swinging the way that they did throughout that game. And then Mullins obviously making a magical shot to end it and send Duke home.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad at him for trying that, because if you just clear the UConn guys, it doesn't even have to make it all the way to the Duke guys that were just sitting underneath the basket. Like, just
TLC, he could throw the ball straight up in the air.
And I think more teams should
probably win the game.
Exactly.
With 5 seconds. Because even if that ball comes down from the sky and lands exactly in Mullins' hands, it's probably at half court with about 3 seconds. I don't know. I doubt he makes it then. He did what he saw as an athlete does in the instinctual moment. I get 2 guys that are free, and I could probably skip this over their heads. And at that point, this whole strong on the ball thing went away. It looked like a team. Duke looked like the team that needed to score.
I'll give you a football equivalent. This would be like if you were given the choice to kick a field goal to go up 4, but the other team would have gotten the ball. And this may not be a tremendous example, but if you had the chance to kick a field goal. Actually, you know what? You have the chance to kick a field goal to go up 7, but the other team is going to get the ball back, or it's 4th and 1, and they're not going to have any timeouts left if you get that 1 yard. And they tried to go for it. He tried to make the pass. Just make a better pass, in my opinion. But it still comes down to, if I'm John Shire, the number one issue that I'm taking with me from that game is, how in the world did we blow a 19-point lead to a team that couldn't hit the broadside of a barn?
Well, and that's fine, too, and that's what he could lean into. And I'm not even on the bad pass part of it, because I thought UConn actually played really good defense there by 2 guys climbing the ladder to deflect that ball. To me, that ball just can't be passed again. Like, the first one I'm okay with. Comes in, it goes back to the inbound. Okay, that's it. We've burned 2 seconds. Now we wait. We get fouled. We try to hit 2 free throws and ice the game. Like, at that point, I'm not trying to do much more. I did understand them trying to burn some seconds, because 10's a lot of time. If you're only up 3, then, by the way, then we're looking at Duke's probably fouling UConn. Like, if UConn gets the ball back after free throws and they're down 3, I'm probably fouling them. So we're all doing this in hindsight. We all got to watch. We're not coaching in live action, but he's the one that's paid a lot to do it. And they had the game. And no matter whether they had a 19-point lead or a 2-point lead, that game was theirs. It was theirs to be had. And they blew it, and they choked it away. And he had the ball in the hands of an 18-year-old guy who doesn't have that experience.
That's the key for me right there. Yeah. Is Caden Boozer,
why isn't he in the game?
Doesn't have enough time on task, right? Like, I don't know if Braden Smith panics in that moment the way a Caden Boozer does. Like, Braden Smith has seen so much and played so much high-level basketball and been in charge of those type of critical possessions late in game, to where I don't think that would be the case with him. So that's where I think the collapse really happened late, was a guy not being able to slow down the moment. And that's obviously easier said than done, but you just have to be out there on the floor and be in command of those moments to realize, hey, we do have a timeout, or these guys are coming to foul me. Let me just let them come do that, and I can go handle my business on the other end.
I don't blame his decision. Just throw a better pass. Just execute better.
The decision was unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't love the decision, and I'm going to give you kind of credit for like leaping in the air with 2 guys and making sure that pass didn't go over. But I'm with you on, and no one would do this if he just throws the ball up in the air. They probably win the game. But
you don't even need guys at the end. Just throw a punt to a place where the opponent's not going to get to it in 2 seconds.
That's a Kareem skyhook is what he needed to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of those, But
like the wick,
he's also in those moments when we can talk about this now. He's living it in live action.
Man, as an 18-year-old, that's a lot.
He didn't spend this much time thinking about it as the play was happening.
But I really would like to get the answer to the question, did Shire tell his guys the priority is not to get this ball over the timeline? They have to come to us.
And they were.
We're not going to them.
And they were.
Yeah.
They were.
All right, coming back in 2 minutes with our guy, former CBJ head coach Brad Larson. Only 1 point over the weekend. It's put the Jackets in the pressure cooker. They've lived there, and so now they got to find a way to fight their way to the finish line. We'll analyze it next with him, Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. If you've been in the market for a new home or just wanted to take advantage of lower rates, recent events have shown exactly why Miller Lending chose to offer a way around bad timing with our no closing cost program. With no fees rolled in or charged, including the cost of title insurance, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance free of charge as rates improve. Over the past several months, we spoke to numerous borrowers who had heard rates were coming down and chose to wait. We explained that if rates did fall, you could simply update a few documents and refinance again, but why take the chance? So when rates spiked to 0.5% recently, not only was I disappointed that we couldn't help those who waited, but also for those buying a home who just saw a sharp increase to their monthly payment. So while we can't control the market, we can offer an alternative. Eliminate timing and say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Common Man here for Jermaine. Everybody's talking about affordability when buying a car these days, but the truth is, GoJermaine.com has a great selection of affordable inventory. Maybe that tax return's going to hit your mailbox pretty soon. Well, go see my friends because they have 300 new cars under 30 grand, over 300 used cars under 20 grand, and it's only at GoJermaine.com. And along with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started at GoJermaine.com.
Day one, the hardest day. The day you hear,
this is a type of blood cancer.
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Dog friendly. And if you ain't down with that, this is Rothman and Ice.
All right, 8 to go. 8 to go. You're holding on to the second wild card. You got Ottawa, Detroit, and Philly 2 points back, but also a game in hand on the Jackets. This is going to get good if it already hasn't been very good, but not a great weekend. You had 1 point, you blow 2 games in the final minute, and they're both different, but man, these are the ones that you think about. Now, they don't have time to think about it, which is probably a good thing. And our awesome friend, former head coach Brad Larson, kind of warned us about this as far as you made an amazing run to get to this point, and now you got to get it to the finish line. No one's going to help. No one's handing this to you. And Lars, it's great to have you on the program, my friend. And just know, and we'll start this, that an entire community is thinking about you through this difficult time. You and I have talked, but I wanted to, I'm going to make hockey secondary because you know how much I feel about you and your family. And I just wanted to say that out of the gate, that so many people are thinking of you and the family.
Well, first, thanks so much. The hockey community is an incredible thing to be a part of, and I've been fortunate to be part of it for, 20 plus years. And, the whole Columbus community, just across the board, have been amazing with my family. So thanks so much. I much appreciate that.
I know that you've seen these games in person. You've been to the games. This is the pressure that certainly a lot of teams have to go through late in the season here, but this is a narrative that they fought really hard to extinguish. And now, in a way, it's kind of rearing its ugly head, a late third period collapse. Do you look at these games similarly, or are there reasons that this is happening, or is this just hockey in your mind?
It's just hockey, and those 2 games, I went to both those games, and they're 2 different games for me. I agreed with that San Jose game. I don't think they had the legs because they're a big, strong, fast team. They forecheck hard. They've been playing great hockey for a long stretch here. And inevitably, you're going to hit a bump in the road. You just are. And so when you watch the 2 games, they're completely different, in my opinion. You watched the game last night. The first period was outstanding. I mean, they were They were physical. They were on top of the puck. They checked hard, the forecheck, and obviously they finished and scored the goals. And here's the thing. I don't think they let off the gas in the second. I mean, Boston is a really good hockey team. They are. They're deep. They're coming. And I thought they got through that second. And then in the third, the penalties, right? And one I thought was a little bit chintzy. That's in my opinion, the first one. But the second two, they're penalties. They just are what they are. And unfortunately, just the wrong time. And, accidental or not, they're still penalties, right? So they weren't able to get through it. And so it's a gut punch, no question. But you know what? If anybody would have asked this group if they could have been in this scenario 2 months ago, everybody would have jumped right on board. And you look at the fan support they got. I mean, everybody's just so excited. They want them to get in, right? But they're there. They're knocking on the door. They're still holding down a spot. And like you just alluded to, they get to play these teams. So you're going to have to win your way in. And you listen to Rick talk, Bones, after the game. It's hard. This time of year is hard because the margin is so small. No lead is safe. I mean, it's all those things, those cliches you talk about, but it's reality. And that's why they're cliches, because there's so much truth to it. The attention to detail, you can't let your foot off the gas. Penalties, you got to make sure that you're staying out of the box. So it's exciting. It's fun. I think the group's invested. They've got a few injuries. Some other guys get to step up, but that's not unique to their team. The schedule is what it is, and everybody's playing through it, and other teams are banged up as well.
Brad, you mentioned Bones and some of the comments he made after the game, and one thing I couldn't wait to get your reaction to was when he mentioned that he thought that they got selfish with the puck. And when you hear a coach mention that and being around the guys and leading the charge the way that you have, when you hear another coach saying that, where does your mind go to? What do we need to be looking for moving forward to make sure that that's not the case on the ice? So just your reaction to him saying that he thought that they got selfish with the puck.
Yeah, listen, I'm certainly not going to speak for him. I heard the comment too, and he'll have his own view of that. And so you got to be really careful when you try to analyze what that means to him. Selfish with the puck would be, maybe trying to do a little too much at times when the play's not there. It could be holding on to too much. It could be, there's lots of different scenarios that would go with that. And so I'm going to kind of stay a little bit at arm's length because, one thing you have to remember after the game, there's emotion tied to it. And that's the second big loss they've had, right? Like everybody understands they only got 1 point out of that, and they had the lead in both of those games, and you want to close those out. So this is a great time. They got a day off today, I believe, and they get to kind of take a deep breath and then play another meaningful game tomorrow. So I just think where Bones, his experience, when you listen to him, a lot of these guys that have been around for a long time, they get it. They understand how hard it is. And you can talk about it with your team. You can preach it. You can walk them through it through video. But until they're in it, until they're skating in it and they feel that pressure, you don't know how they're going to react, right? Like pressure does funny things to people. And I don't think they failed. I don't think it was an effort thing. I don't think it's just both games were different for me. And so it's fun and exciting, and now he gets to really watch his group, and he's going to help guide them through it. I think they've got the right man manning it right now. I think he's going to push him. He's not going to let him off the hook. He in the sense of how hard it's going to be, and he has some veteran guys that have been through it too, and he's leaning on them too. So it's going to be a fun ride here. I'm behind him. I think they're going to get in. I really do.
Lars, you and I talked, and listen, the number one thing is health. They've now been hit here in a very weird time. Severson was playing really well with Zach. He's had a good year. There's a lot of pressure on him to have a good year. He has. Olivier gets into a fight and leaves the game. I'm not sure what his prognosis is, but give me your thoughts about if there was something they really couldn't afford to really lose, it may be something on that defense.
Well, sure. I think just the way Severson was playing with Zach, right? Like chemistry is a really important thing, especially in your top pairing. That's a huge luxury to have. Severson is probably playing some of his best hockey down this last 14, 15 games, and he was producing. He was, he's a plus player playing against hard matchups. So that's a hard one because you like what you're seeing for them. But again, you don't get to pick and choose who gets hurt. Olivier, he comes right out after the Gabranson fight, and my mother was at the game. I looked over. I said, "What? Olivier's going to be fighting," and she loved it. She was standing up too with everybody else, right? So. He did his role. He did it well. And unfortunately, in those scenarios, sometimes it happens. So listen, health is a luxury at this point of the year. When you've played this amount of games, and they were fortunate to get fully healthy, but no one feels sorry for you. And I know Bones isn't going to feel sorry for it's next man up, and there's guys that are dying to get in the lineup. Well, here's your opportunity. They got a lot of healthy bodies, and they're going to be okay. I just think now it's, again, that attention to detail, how hard it's going to be. That's imperative right now when you head into these games.
Lars, how concerned are you right now about the offensive output? Is there something that's jumping out to you as to really maybe what's providing maybe some sluggish offensive stuff, just as far as what's on the scoreboard? Because prior to this kind of rut here that they found themselves in, the offense was flowing. So just talk about that from your perspective and what you're seeing offensively right now that's kind of have them in maybe a little sluggish spot.
Well, I don't think it's anything that you can pinpoint, because if you could just single-handedly, you would do it and it would be fixed. I think the one thing about goal scoring comes with confidence, right? When you're rolling, you said they're flowing. And sometimes there's just a rhythm to how you're scoring, and you get the lucky bounces, you get the nice tips, you get the fortunate rebounds, your power play's clicking. Generally, on any kind of losing streak, your scoring dries up. It's not because you're not scoring enough. It's like you can't score. You can't score in those things. So that's why when he came in, it was so important to take a hold of the defensive side, right? The analytics tell us that they're doing a better job on the chances against, the high danger chances, all those things, because eventually the scoring does dry up. And guys, we're the last 10 games of the season here. Everybody's tightening up. The attention to detail, the focus, all of these things, it's harder to score goals. So it's not surprising that they don't have a Connor McDavid in their lineup, or a Draisaitl or these type of players. They have a really good hockey team, I think, that's very well balanced, and it's got to come from everybody. So it's just harder to score goals. It's going to be harder to get power plays, all those things. So there's no surprise there. I think what they got to do is continue to stick to their identity. I think it's defend well, protect the middle of the ice, make sure you're not giving up the easy offense for the other team, and then score how you score. And that's getting to the paint. That's playing a big body game, and they have a lot of those guys. And then feed off the excitement of where they're at. I think that's just it's such a luxury to have. Again, if we talked 2 months ago and said, hey, this is where they'll be at, they'll be in a spot with 8 games to go, I think everybody would have been doing backflips.
No doubt about that. All right, Lars, I got about 60 seconds. I saw this yesterday, and all right, the hockey is weird, man. Vegas fires Cassidy with, I don't know how many games they have left, not many, but they're a current playoff team that fired their coach and replaced him with your guy and mine. John Tortorella is going to Las Vegas. What in the world happened there with Cassidy and I know you're not there, but how odd was that for a team to fire a coach with less than 10 games left, who has won them a cup a few years ago and was currently holding a playoff spot?
Yeah, this is out of the norm, right? The last time I can think of that is, I think Jersey did it back in 2000. And I think that's a Lou Lamoriello move, right? So, Kelly McCrimmon, there's a high standard there with the Foleys who own it. They want to win. And, something smelled there. I don't know. I don't have an insight to that. They weren't playing as good as they needed to be, especially with that lineup they have with the Stones and the Marners and the Hurdles. And they're loaded. They got a good team. Their goaltending suffered a bit, but they need a shakeup, and I think they got the right guy. I think, he's going to go in there and he's going to push him. And when a guy like that walks in the room, he comes with instant credibility. I read some of these narratives, and I think people just have it completely wrong. I think he is a great choice for this group to help push them, and because he will help them. I believe he can help them get over that hump there right now.
Brother, you're the best. We appreciate you, man. And we're thinking about you, and we'll have you back soon. Hopefully we'll get in. And then we'll have you sitting side by side with us talking about it. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
That's our guy, former CBJ head coach Brad Larson, an assistant for years, played almost 300 games in the league, and obviously was a right-hand man of Torts, who's back in Vegas. Unbelievable. With basically an 8-game contract.
Unreal.
Incredible. I'm so fired up.
Cool.
We come back with Party Like a Roth Star next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. That's UFLaviators.com. United, we fly.
Hey, it's Bo Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank Spirits, but the food is just as good. Brunch worth planning your weekend around. Seasonal dinners perfect for date night or game night. Plus, kids eat half off every Monday. Find menus and locations at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Hey, it's Anthony. By now you know my good feet story, but the point I try to get across is that it's an ongoing one for me. For as long as I can remember, it's always been about my lower back. But when I got fitted for my personal arch supports, it's been an absolute game changer. I feel better. They take all the stress off my back. I feel supported and aligned, and you don't hear me complain about it the way I used to. I could feel the difference instantly, and I didn't have to wait to feel that difference. Once I got fitted, popped them in my shoes, took the test walk around the store, and now on a daily basis, everything feels better. And that's what I mean about an ongoing story. This journey to feeling my pain disappear makes everything better. You can make an appointment online or just stop into the Good Feet store in Grove City or the one on Polaris Parkway in Westerville, and their experts will personally fit you. Then do what I did. Take a test walk around, and you will feel the difference. Do your feet a favor. Get started at goodfeet.com.
Your favorite fan shows are available as a podcast. What a concept. And don't miss exclusive podcast content like Austin and Byrne. Listen on your schedule from anywhere in the world. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Had a few repairs to your furnace or air conditioner this year, and now your system is acting up again? Stop patching problems and start enjoying worry-free comfort with Logan Services. We'll repair your system fast, or if it's time, replace it with a brand new one. And if you've had repair work done in the past year, no matter who did it, we'll pay you back up to $3,000 when you choose replacement. We're making home comfort easy. Logan Services.
Hey there, guys. Bo Bishop here. When it comes to making a big decision like the ring, you don't wing it. That's why I trust my friends at Diamond Seller. For nearly 80 years, their family has helped generations of couples celebrate life's biggest moments with exceptional quality, larger diamonds, and better value. And guys, here's the best part. They walk you through it step by step so you know you're getting it right. Whether you're ready to propose or ready to upgrade, visit Diamond Seller, Sawmill Road, Easton Town Center, or learn more at diamondseller.com. diamondseller.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by KDHVAC, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan. Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Roth star.
All right. Maddie, I alluded to it, so I'll just say it. It's the hot torch takeover. Things happen fast. And 23 seasons, this will be his 6th team, 9th most wins in NHL history, 2-time Jack Adams Coach of the Year. Vegas had not been getting good goaltending, as Lars alluded to with Aiden Hill. And he's going to go in there, and he's going to have to – I don't know how you do this fast as far as, like, keeping them the blinders on now. Because Vegas – now, in the West, you got a little more cushion. You do. And so as long as they don't fall on their face, but they had been losing games. They had lost a lot of games. They got a point in their last couple of games, but they had losing a lot of games. So they were leaking oil fast. And so here's the irony. When the Jackets changed from Evason to Bones, the Jackets it was the perfect scenario. They had Calgary and Vancouver at home out of the gate. Guess who Vegas has right now? Next two games. Vancouver and Calgary out of the gate at home. Now, Calgary's been playing a lot better. They're not a pushover right now. And all these teams that are freewheeling, and I warned you about San Jose, like these teams that they're playing free. But I think that the Torts news this weekend, of all teams, that Vegas comes calling and that he's going to jump in. And I hope that he's got nothing to lose. He's taking a leap of faith. It's basically an 8-game contract. If they get in the playoffs, obviously he'll be coaching them, and then maybe he can earn the full thing. Now, if I'm him, I'm like, I probably didn't need a promise. Maybe got a wink that if things didn't go completely the other way, that you're going to be our guy. But this is awesome, man. It's awesome that he wants to, because he doesn't have to. But he wants to be behind that bench. You need him behind that bench. We need him. That's awesome that he's back in the league. So I'll give it to Torts. Partying like a Roth star this weekend.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
No doubt.
It's good stuff. First candidate for me, I'm starting in the NBA because it's getting real spooky right now for all the teams in the Eastern Conference not named the Boston Celtics, because Jason Tatum is back. The Celtics are rolling, and they might win themselves another chip this year. Jason Tatum, this shouldn't be happening. We watched the man blow out his Achilles last year, and that's always a dicey thing coming back from that significant of an injury. But yesterday, against the Charlotte Hornets, who are a good young team on the rise in the Eastern Conference as well, Jason Tatum, 32 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and a block in the game, 5 of 10 from the three-point line, 52% from the field overall. This dude is an absolute dog. As we all know, the game before that, 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. So this guy looks to be back at the peak of his powers at the right time. This Boston Celtics team is now going back to the postseason for a 12th year in a row. They won 50 games again this year, 5 years in a row of 50 dubs for the Boston Celtics. I think they're the favorite to come out of the East. I think they can beat the Thunder or the Nuggets or the Spurs, whoever comes out of the West. And so right now, Jason Tatum, the former Duke Blue Devil himself, partying like a Roth star, and the Celtics are on their way. Crazy.
All right, I'll come back to college, and a kid who's going to turn 20 next month, Braylon Anthony Mullins, Indiana native, who played high school basketball at Greenfield Central. I spent a month there one night in Greenfield. 2025 McDonald's All-American, Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana. He was just a prestigious high school player. And there are a lot of dudes that have won that with Eric Gordon and Greg Oden and Cody Zeller and Sean May and down the list. But the fact that he was 0 in that game and was looking to get it to a guy that had actually made one and found, this is the beautiful thing about sports. Nothing of this was scripted. He found the ball in his hands with 2 seconds to go or whatever, and now he's got a launch from the logo. And I can't imagine, like if I was talking to him after the game, I would have said, when did you know it was in? Like, I would love to know that. I don't know if anyone asked him, like, when it left your hands, did you know it was in? Most shooters do. And even in that moment, he probably, like, until it ripped twine, he probably wasn't sure. But here's that final play with Braylon Mullins hitting the shot heard around the world.
Got to cut and run through the ball. And who better than this guy? Get it into Boozer. Back for Sarr. Ahead. Boozer. That ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it up. It's good. We're pulling 3. UConn goes in front.
Sick.
It's good stuff.
Insanity.
Yeah, it really is incredible. Shout out to Ian Eagle. Great call, as always. He's usually on it. Love the excitement from him there.
You had a freshman that made the mistake with the pass, and the other freshman hits the 3. Yeah. And a kid from suburban, I guess, I don't even know how far it is away, but he's going to Indy for the Final Four. A kid from Little Greenfield who hits the shot.
Special.
And he's going back, so he's partying like a roster.
Last one real quick for me. We're going down to the Natty because us Reds fans, we watched something evolve right before our eyes over the weekend, and that is Sal Stewart saying, I'm here. Reds fans, I got you. Sal Stewart cooking over the weekend. 3 games against Boston. 7 hits in the series, 1 home run. Could be the power we need. Look, it's only been 3 games. It's only been 1 weekend around Major League Baseball, but Sal Stewart leading the league in batting average, batting 700 right now. And by the way, honorable mention, partying like a rock star, both the Red Sox and the Reds for cooking CB Buckner, the home plate umpire. 6 calls overturned in that game. You talk about a tough look for an umpire. That was
We need to talk about that.
And
they were missing by like an inch or 2, but every time he turned around and took his mask off, it was like, what batter wants to challenge the call? And I'm like, this is rough.
By the way, the ABS system is awesome. Yeah. I was watching it all weekend. It's really cool. I'm here for it. But Sal Stewart, the young fellow for the Reds, partying like a raw star, had a great day hitting against the Sox.
Honorable mention to the Japanese Babe Ruth. What's his...
Murakami?
Yeah, Murakami, and I for some reason I can't come up with his... Munetaka Murakami has started his MLB season with the White Sox. Homer.
That works.
3 straight games.
That'll work.
All right, we come back with the floor is yours. 821-9710 is our number. Rant away next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house. It's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a warehouse operations manager.
Where are the forklifts?
Sold them. Too expensive. We're using scooters now.
So you expect us to move a 2-ton pallet on a scooter?
Just lean into it. Put your back into it, people.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Recently, our company's softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Spring is hatching at the Columbus Zoo. Join us April 3rd and 4th for Eggs, Paws, and Claws. Snap a pic with the Easter Bunny, meet Egbert, roll into Shelley's Shellebration, and crack the clues in the Explore and Find. It's 2 extra fun days you won't want to miss. Get your discounted tickets at Kroger.
Don't miss the Floor Madness outlet sale at Right Rug Flooring. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot, and a massive selection of laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet, all drastically reduced. Save up to 80% during the Floor Madness outlet sale at Right Rug Flooring on Poth Road in Whitehall. 24-month special financing is available with approved credit. Hurry, the Floor Madness outlet sale ends March 30th. Dealers welcome.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And are you tired of windows so drafty that your curtains blow in the wind even after you shut your windows?
Sounds like a problem, Wilson.
It's why at the other window place, we now offer curtain tie-downs.
Wouldn't just great non-drafty windows be the answer?
And tank the entire curtain tie-down market?
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Austin Ward here, fired up for warm weather, golf season, longer days, more time outside. Ride the momentum and finally drop the weight you keep saying you will. With Awaken 180, it's fast, easy, and we're all proof that it works. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State men's hoops will return a crucial piece in 2026 as rising sophomore forward Amari Bynum announced he's coming back next season. Bynum averaged 9.7 points and 4.9 rebounds last season. He started the last 24 games, averaging 10 and 5 in that span. His return comes a day after forward Devin Royal announced his entry to the transfer portal. Women's college hoops, Elite Eight tonight. Michigan and Texas start things off at 7. TCU and South Carolina to follow at 9. MLB, Chase Burns makes his sophomore season debut as the Reds host the Pirates at 6:40. Guardians visit the two-time defending champion Dodgers at 10:10. NFL, per reports, the Browns opted not to sign Bills defensive end A.J. Epinesa, citing concerns from his physical. This update sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, your convenient store for metal. Visit Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com or 2180 Wilson Road for all your metal needs.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program. We'll get to the Buckeye basketball roster this hour and the allocating of funds. Because that's what college sports is about now. Absolutely. Salary capping the roster. Adam King, 10 TV at 1:30. Is he confirmed? Or is that a loose confirmation? He is.
Yes.
In person or on the horn?
In studio was confirmed.
All right.
I got my weekly yep when I said, hey, 1:30 in studio.
Did it have an exclamation point next to the yep?
Ooh.
Because if it didn't, I'm not.
Period.
Yeah, or anything.
He got the exclamation point.
Okay,
So he is excited.
That's it. Yeah,
he is excited to come in here because that does matter. AR, when you get an emoji or an exclamation point or a smiley face or something like that.
You want to read into this? I got something for you.
Oh.
So out of the past 4 texts, 3 of them have said 1:30 in studio ? And I've gotten back, yup, like YUP.
Okay.
There was one week where I texted him 1:30 in studio with Rothman and Joshua, and he said yes. Very formal.
Because JP was here.
I don't know.
He felt like he needed to tighten up a little bit.
He classed it up a little bit.
What I'm thinking is that on the bottom of his phone, we're so lazy now, but the algorithm probably spit out a few different options. Yeah, yup, sure, sounds good. And you can just thumb that, right? Like if I asked you a question right now, Maddie, if I asked you a question that required a simple answer, you'd get options on your phone. You wouldn't have to type it out.
I think if I were to go
thumbs up.
I think if I were to go type a simple Y into my texting bubble or whatever, it would bring up some of the options you're talking about. I think it would go yes, yeah, or whatever. I use a lot that starts with Y. I think that's kind of how that. So I think you're on it. But he still had to pick between yes or yup.
And when it was Joshua,
he went with
it
yes.
Was yes, very formal. When it's, hey, Rothman and Ice, yup.
But you're saying there's no exclamation point.
I want to see.
But there is.
Today, yes.
Okay.
All right, I just texted you, Maddie.
Oh, yeah. What you got?
And I want to see if probably the wrong question. I texted you, is the show going well so far? And I want to see if your phone gives any options to that.
I'm
not.
gonna type in Y, and so I have you and yes pop up.
Oh, so it's not giving you anything. You actually have to type something. On my little old school Android over here, I think I'm getting more options than you.
Okay.
Like I don't have to type anything. Like I said, it said great, sure. Sounds good.
So you're saying without typing in a letter, you get options that pop up?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now that we've
I just
handled
texted you my response back, by the way.
What is
so?
I just saw something that I'd like to bring up.
Oh, do your thing, Ron Burgundy.
I'm seeing highlights of the Brewers and White Sox series from this weekend. The same guy caught a home run on Saturday and Sunday in the series. Grown man with a glove.
Party foul.
Okay, we've had this.
Kick him out of the club.
I know this is like a stereotypical sports radio segment, but I was kind of surprised to see that guy who is like kind of losing his hair, but also like wearing a glove to the game. And he's also like deep, like you're a grown man. Like there should be like a challenge of, hey, if the ball gets hit my way, I got to catch it with my bare hands because there are other fans out there who do that.
Is there? So you're looking at it as an age thing, not a where I'm sitting thing.
I'm in the age camp. I think once you get past
because
18,
there are fans out there who catch balls barehanded. And so I think that kind of sets the standard of like you're soft if you're bringing a glove.
See, I don't see taking out that part of it. What I'm looking at is, don't you have an advantage over the other fans if a ball is hit near you and you're the one wearing the glove?
No, you do.
You can just reach out, backhand one.
How far are you reaching out, though? Because you got to respect everybody's space.
See, now you were the one that said...
Are you reaching into the row in front of you?
That grown man went and got that ball that rolled over at that Phillies game. He didn't respect that woman's space, did he?
Well, he was going to get it for his kid, right?
Ball rolled away.
Oh, the Marlins-Phillies game last year.
Was that a...
When Karen rolled up and said, give me that ball.
Because it was right under her feet.
That was the worst part. Well, that's her fault for not having the wherewithal to understand the situation.
All I'm saying, Maddie just said, respect the other fan's space.
She had the high ground, and she still lost.
Let me ask you guys this. Was that some type of historic baseball?
No, I don't think so.
That wasn't anybody's 300th home run or whatever? Okay. I'm curious, AR, how far you're willing to go up and down the aisle with your glove.
I don't want to carry a glove to the game. I'm just saying that once you got it in there, you probably feel like, hey, I'm in a pretty good spot now. I got a glove.
Here's the other thing that I think should be happening as well. If you are a grown-up, male or female, and you catch a baseball at a game, home run, foul ball, whatever it may be.
The crowd's chanting, throw it back.
There should be, I think, an automatic trigger in your mind to give that baseball to a kid. Nobody should, I think, be going to a game as a grown-up thinking that I'm going there to keep the baseball if I get one.
But you're
like, I'm looking for the nearest Tommy.
I actually disagree with it.
But I'm going to tell you this.
I like it, but I disagree.
I'm not Unless there's a lot of money on the line for that baseball.
There you go.
That's it.
Because I don't want to put Maddie on trial here, but some things are triggering in my mind that you always say, like, not only are you not giving the ball back to the player that hit the home run, you're ransoming the ball back. Like, so.
Oh, what are you requesting in return from the organization?
And it's not a trade. Maddie's not into the signed jersey or the bat.
Money.
He wants cash, straight cash.
How much is it worth to you?
Darn right. That's what I want. So I will add that. Unless it's a historical baseball, if it's a Shohei's whatever, then I will keep that baseball. If not, I think every adult should give a ball to a kid.
I think if you show up in a group where there are kids, I think you somewhat owe it to the group to give it to one of the kids in the group. If it's just you and your boys and you're all in your mid-20s, mid-30s, whatever, if there are no kids in the group, I don't think you owe it to just,
all right,
I'm going to
bring
gift
up
it to
one
some
other thing.
stranger.
All right, here's the one thing.
Okay.
If you do, it's a good thing.
You guys,
and I would commend you for it. I just don't think you owe it to the community at the ballpark.
By the way, I'm sure Denny's been on. He's been gone for a while, right? Is he on hold?
Well, he had somebody call in for him last week.
Yeah, I know. He had a stunt caller.
He really did.
Who wasn't bad.
It was good.
But I don't mean to keep him waiting.
Oh, yeah, Danny, my bad.
Go ahead.
My bad,
But
Danny.
hang on. But I wanted to say this.
He'll hang to the next segment.
I don't mean to keep him
waiting.
waiting.
He'll hang until he's ready.
He'll continue to wait.
He's always here. He's on hold.
He's like Tim May. He's always on hold.
I'm going to put you in this social situation. You young fellas.
I like these.
Remember this for Dockich.
Dockich won't be able to answer it. He's out of the age group. You guys are on a first date.
Ooh.
You take the first date to a baseball game. Mm-hmm. Not a bad idea, by the way, for a first date.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot going on.
Good
no
energy.
pressure.
I like that.
If you ponied up and bought some decent seats, that's fun. You're not sitting out there in the center field. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of time to talk in between pitches.
And you
get to know each other.
And all of us being ex-athletes, we catch the foul ball.
Okay.
But you guys are saying that guy, to impress the first date.
Of course you give it to a kid.
Hang on. Is he offering it up to her first?
No.
Nope.
Or is he looking around for the nearest kid under the age of 10 and saying, this is going to go a long way for me?
It's the ladder. The ladder. You get the brownie points. You take the brownie points and run.
What if he says, what a grab. Here you go. And gives it to her. And now she feels it's like, I got to carry this around for a while now?
I think you would have to go into that game and date knowing that she was a big-time baseball fan. If she really liked the sport or that team,
baseball,
then you give it to her. If she's kind of like, hey, let's just go out, it's a nice vibe, then I think you give it to the kid.
But if he gives it to the kid, he vaults up the rankings.
It's an automatic win.
He vaults up the rankings massively.
I got something for you guys real quick, and I'm sorry, Danny, we love you, but since you brought up a first date at a baseball game, I wanted to ask you guys this. You go to a baseball game, first date, and you get put on the kiss cam. Do you go in for the kiss on the first date? You're on you guys have, this is the first time you guys are out in public. There's been a couple hugs here and there, but there hasn't been a locking of lips yet. Here you are on the Jumbotron.
Absolute read and react situation. You are not calling the play here. You are not.
What do you do? What do you do?
You got to read. You got to have good instincts. If you're sensing that she is turning to you and like she comes a little bit like in Hitch, like,
oh man! But if you get rejected, that is tough living.
That's why I'm saying you have to be able to read the situation.
Do you just go for the kiss on the cheek? Play it safe?
No,
that's getting rejected.
No, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, I think you go for it.
You go all in.
You do best. You do your best acting job that you didn't notice it.
They're not doing it in the first inning.
Staring straight ahead, like you're like, I don't know what they're yelling about.
Just like look down at your phone and be like, oh, what? I'm on the Jumbotron.
She might be like, well, he doesn't want to kiss me. What's wrong with me? I don't think there's a good answer here. Let us know in the chat. Tweet at us. What do you do?
Maybe Danny will let us know next.
First date, you're on this kiss cam. Do you pull the trigger? I don't know what you do.
Yes, you do.
You have. No, I don't. I think you're running the risk of, like Maddie says, the rejection would be brutal. And then the other thing is
you're getting rejected.
It's an awkward move for her. Like, It's an awkward move.
I don't know if there's a clean play here.
The kiss cam happens in the middle of the game, so it's not like the first inning. So you have some time to get a feel for how the date's going.
But this is the first date.
No.
I think
first date, first kiss is not on the kiss cam. That's nuts.
I think rejecting each other on the kiss cam is worse than that.
No. I think you can wiggle your way out by saying, listen, if we're ever going to have a first kiss, it's not going to be here. It's going to be much like I would be able to talk my way out of it.
Could be a memorable moment, though. That's a great story.
So you're with him.
I think I would go in for the kiss.
Here.
You got to get a welcoming reaction to that.
But you only have a split second. I don't know how much reading you can reacting post snap you can do.
If it's a Caden Boozer, I only got a half a second to decide whether I'm going to hold the ball or pass.
If the date's going well, you definitely do it. If the date's going poorly, you definitely don't. If the date's neutral and you're still feeling it out, I still think you do it.
Okay.
I mean,
let us know.
TLC's like climbing into the seat.
Hey,
all right. We'll get a reaction for you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $365 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house. It's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at Coghlan Ford. During Ford Truck Month, take over $13,000 off MSRP, plus no payments until June on select new F-150s. New Bronco Sport or Ranger. Lease for $399 a month for 48 months. Visit CoghlanFord.com. Coghlan has the car for you.
Factory rebates to dealer. 90-day deferred payments. Not all buyers will qualify. Bronco $399 down. Ranger $2,000 down. 7,500 miles per year. 25 cents per mile over. Excludes $250 dock fee. $395 disposition fee at lease. No security deposit. Ends 3/31/26.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Spring is right around the corner, and we bet you're excited for warmer weather. But as the temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills don't. Keep those cooling costs low with Window Nation's high-quality, energy-efficient products. Simply request a consultation where their experts will visit your home, spot problem areas, and make recommendations. Your customized windows can be installed in a day. Once completed, your home will be shielded from outside hot air while you remain cool and comfortable inside throughout the spring and summer. With Window Nation, your house won't just look great, but you'll also have peace of mind. All of Window Nation's products are backed by a lifetime warranty. In fact, there's no better time to upgrade your home with Window Nation than right now. In March, the more you buy, the more savings you could enjoy. Up to 50% off all window styles. And be sure to ask about Window Nation's generous financing options, including $0 down, 0% interest for 60 months, and payments as little as $199 a month. Visit windownation.com today to schedule your free consultation. Once again, that's windownation.com.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
The Jackets are making a push to the playoffs.
Islanders and Adam Fantilli, one more time, puts it in the net.
Listen to every exciting moment, including an extended pregame show for weekend games. Proud to be your home of the Jackets. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Springtime is here, and you know what that means? It's time for Mulch Madness.
Did you know that too much mulch is bad for trees and shrubs? 2 inches of mulch is plenty. Any more and you risk causing roots to grow up and around trunks, which increases unhealthy stress, shortens tree life, and even keeps moisture from getting down to tree roots. To find out more about mulch madness or to find a certified arborist near you, visit treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies for today with highs into the lower 70s here this afternoon. As we head into tomorrow, we'll see even warmer temperatures with highs in the upper 70s to near 80. But it will be very windy as winds gust out of the south and west up to 40 miles per hour. And then we are tracking some rain showers likely here by Wednesday with highs in the 60s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
This is one of those things where I believe you got a better chance in talking your way out of it on why you didn't do it versus if it wasn't welcomed, it sets the whole thing on tilt. That's all I'm saying. If you go to a ball game on a first date and you get thrown up on a kiss cam, I think the third choice would be my choice, which is try to read the situation the best you can and let the other person initiate. I don't think you're getting disrespected if you don't do. I don't think that other person's thinking, oh, I wonder why he didn't. Like, I don't know. I just think there's an easier way in talking your way out of it. But
so you're saying you get put up on the Jumbotron and you're just going to directly look at the date and then do what?
You're both going to have the same reaction. You're both going to be like, because there's not a whole lot you can do.
Here's the question. If somebody is taking a girl on a first date to the game, is this already in the back of his mind on the way there?
It wasn't until you even said it. I wasn't even thinking it.
I know, but that's because we weren't in the moment. But if there's a guy out there taking a girl to a Clippers game on a first date this summer, do you think that's already in his mind on the way there of like, if there's, or a Blue Jackets game or whatever, like if the kiss cam comes up, like I got to have a decision ready to go.
I don't think a lot of minds would go there going in. I think the only way you're thinking about getting put up on the kiss cam on the Jumbotron is if you're out with somebody you're not supposed to be with.
Oh, so you Coldplay this thing.
Correct. That, I think, is when it's in your brain going into the game where you're like, I hope that we don't get picked for the kiss cam because I'm not supposed to be with her at this game. I think that's probably when it crosses your mind going into the game.
Okay, so this would have to be a deep dive into like Nationwide Arena and the Jackets and other teams and say, how often are you doing a kiss cam anymore? Like of your 41 dates a year at a Jackets game, how often are they doing it?
Sure,
are they still doing it?
I'm sure our boy Mike Todd knows. If he's listening, hit us up, Mike.
And then the Clippers, same thing. Like, how often are they really doing it?
Yeah, I don't know. Love is always in the air.
Is Denny on the horn still? The floor is yours.
Let's find out.
I feel like for 2 weeks he's probably been Denny.
You keep calling me Denny.
Oh,
it's Danny.
Okay, so
I've been calling on this show for like 8 months now.
Hang on.
You don't know my name.
We had a Denny in Dublin for years. So sorry, I had a few other things on my mind hosting a radio show.
We had a Dan in Dublin one time.
I'm trying to be a great coworker for this radio show as well.
That's true.
That's why
and you're the right
waited
price.
on hold for 20 minutes, 22 minutes, maybe even longer. But I appreciate you keeping me on hold. I'm actually happy that the floor is yours is back to Mondays because I don't have to hire as many stand-ins to call in for me when you guys put it to Monday. So I actually appreciate that.
We appreciate you, man.
Thank you. And TLC did hit on it. I think the kiss cam, obviously a CEO and his secretary at the concert, he thought he was going to, go in and do a nice swoop in and got his kiss. And what happened after that? So if you succeed in the kissing cam, it doesn't always work out in your favor. So I think you should, tread lightly.
I'm with you, man. That's my thought. That's my policy.
But
tread lightly.
So where's the scripted material?
I mean, it's not that scripted. I did want to say Wally Pipp is back. I am trying to change history. We benched Lou Gehrig. He's back on the bench. I am here. Wally Pipp is here. But I do have a couple sports things I did want to talk about. First off, Connecticut, Dan Hurley, congratulations for beating the Duke Blue Devils. Haven't seen a choke job like that since Latrell Sprewell choked PJ Carlissimo, so great job there. And I do want to ask you guys, actually, who do you think had the worst morning after? The Boozer Kid, Tiger Woods after he sobered up, or the 400 guys who found out Bonnie Blue was knocked up after the marathon? I'll let you answer. Have a day, boys.
Thanks, Danny. Maddie, you produced the show. How many years did we have Denny call?
He was a regular.
That's all I'm saying.
A regular.
I go back and forth, right? A lot of names, numbers, things.
We had Dan in Dublin.
QSD, love him. He's the best thing to happen on the radio in a long time.
And we haven't heard from him since that call.
And he disappeared.
How much did you
me.
pay him?
Here's the other thing. I don't have
disappeared on me.
I don't have a phone screen over here where old school where they type the name. Maddie would type the name, and I could always have the cheat sheet right there.
Hey, listen,
you could if you pulled it up.
You don't have to explain yourself here. Denny from Delaware, Danny from Dublin.
No, you got it wrong.
No, I did it wrong on purpose.
Oh, okay,
They're all kind of just you can mix them up pretty easily. So no, you're good. You're good. Shout out to Danny though. We love you.
All right, so we'll have the poll answer later on the show. How long?
Danny's question there?
Oh no, that. Listen, first of all, we'll get to Tiger in a little bit.
His last option is tough though, with what he mentioned.
You guys give me some details of.
I don't know if I can even do that on the air.
Yeah,
but if you were one of those guys, there's a little shaking of the room emotionally, dealing with that scenario and the what if.
Zoran tweeted in and said, "You got to go for it, Maddie. Great show, guys."
I think you got to go in, AR, because I think some may respect that. That they may look at you and say he's got some. You know what? I like that. Maybe if it's the other way, you may have to be concerned about you being a little too passive.
It's from my boy Sean SK. I took my daughter to a CBJ game and we ran into one of her friends and mom. We had better seats and some open seats, so they sat with us. And I will tell you that it did cross my mind if the kiss cam came to me and all I did was laugh. Well, you both could have a laugh. Like, that's the thing.
This is the Phil and Gloria thing.
Both could have had a laugh.
Family.
They both would have had, right?
Oh, at that point. Absolutely. Yes. So it did cross his mind because, then it's like, what do I do? If they
Nothing.
Do put us
What
on
do
the
you
kiss
do?
cam.
She doesn't do anything.
Well, I know that, but I'm still like that question pops up. Like, what do we do?
Unless she was now a single mom.
Do you know that?
She was hoping.
Everybody cheats.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
Everybody cheats.
Yeah. I mean,
Why
Maddie
do I
said
sound
it.
like I have an accent saying that. Like everybody cheats. Everybody.
That's an accent?
ERR.
I don't know.
Or is that just
slang?
Slang. Yeah.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Hey, by the way, now that we're talking baseball for a minute here, how did the Dinger draft do in the first week? Where are the standings?
I think I'm on top.
Well,
I
because Judge hit a
believe-
couple.
I think I am.
he is.
So Aaron Judge is the only one who has hit multiple home runs so far. That I can confirm to you.
I got robbed by one. Yordan Alvarez.
He hit one.
And another one, I think, hit off the roof. The ceiling was the roof down there. Houston robbed me of one down there in H-Town.
So
But that was really a foul ball, though, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so
But it would have been a home run, I think, based off of what I was seeing.
So the actual home run leader is Chase DeLauder. Shout out to him for the series that he just put together.
Yeah.
We did not draft him because we were not familiar with his game. So the top draft pick, I think Aaron Judge
where
was
do
the
we
number.
stand, though, in the standings? I thought you had this all charted out.
You can't tell.
Not really.
I'm talk his way through this to get to.
I thought you said
I'm
I didn't
counting
say
one by one.
Oh, no. We don't
Here,
have to do
Aaron,
that.
Aaron Judge has two. That's points for who?
Maddie.
Okay, there you go.
The Iceman cometh.
Yeah, but he also has Jordan. He hit one.
Jordan hit one. I believe you have one from Kyle Schwarber.
And Suarez.
And Eugenio Suarez. So there you go. It's 2-2 to 0.
No, he's got
I
three.
got 3 big dog. Judge hit 2.
Maddie's got 3.
Who's the third one? Oh, Jordan.
No, Judge hit 2.
Yeah. But he's the third.
Why don't we try this again later?
Okay.
I thought we were all set on this. I thought it was going to be a quick
spreadsheet
update.
ready.
I thought you did. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Well, by the way, you know what that means? Yeah. That means that after 1 week, we are the exact opposite order of what J-Lu thought we'd finish.
Yes,
it was
he had me in the basement.
Me second, you
in the basement,
and you're first. I'm right. I'm right. Not in the right. Not in the right in the middle.
And like you said, AR, for this thing,
just don't lose.
Just don't be last.
Well, don't be last.
Don't be last.
I'm bringing up the rear right now.
Well, we think.
Well, you don't even.
We're
know.
not even sure.
You haven't even done the official.
Maybe some of your guys have it.
No. I've been checking every single day for my team. I know I have 0. So Kurtz, Pasquantino, Shohei, and Co. As I forget the other 2 members of my team, Matt Olson.
Otani, he's heard of him.
Yeah.
He said Shohei.
Oh, it did, my bad.
Yeah.
And Junior Caminero. If either of those 5 could get off the schneid, thank you. It's 3-1 to Cero.
All right. The first week, Maddie feels good.
Hell yeah.
We come back in 2 minutes with our friend Adam King, 10 TV. I'm sure he can weigh in on this poll.
First Kiss Cam?
Yeah, for some reason, I feel like he'll have an answer or may have experienced this at some point. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
For decades, Morgan & Morgan has represented hundreds of thousands of people at their hour of need. Injuries on the job, car crashes, medical malpractice, and nursing home abuse, Social Security claims, dangerous drugs, and dangerous products. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason, and no firm is even close. Then we got to thinking, what if we could prevent these terrible events before they occurred? So we built the AI-powered People Protector. Simply visit peopleprotector.com and type in the product you have questions about before you buy it. Children's toys and accessories, cars, drugs, products, you name it, we got it. With our success, we decided to pay it forward for all of America. Our way of saying thank you for your trust all these years. Morgan & Morgan, protecting America. And if you've already been injured, just visit us at forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Common Man here for Jermaine. Everybody's talking about affordability when buying a car these days, but the truth is, GoJermaine.com has a great selection of affordable inventory. Maybe that tax return's going to hit your mailbox pretty soon. Well, go see my friends because they have 300 new cars under 30 grand, over 300 used cars under 20 grand, and it's only at GoJermaine.com. And along with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started at GoJermaine.com.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Like Yoda, Rothman will limp onto the golf course, talk about how stiff his back is, wonder how he can even make it through a hole, and then proceed to kick your ass. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, Adam King, 10 TV, saunters in. What do you see, my man?
Got a little coffee over here.
Okay.
You know, it's that beautiful smell of coffee on a Monday morning. That's what you need.
I feel like you're probably the guy, and this isn't a slam, but you'd be probably the guy that said, you know what? The coffee cups or the K-cups here at the 10 TV are just not at my standard. I'm going to bring in my own, like, Starbucks K-cup.
So, you know what's
and I'm just guessing.
Let me tell you this. Earlier this year, I guess it was last year now, we went to Washington.
I think it's pronounced Washington.
Washington, Seattle, the home of the original Starbucks. And so I waited in line for 30 minutes to go in and see this original Starbucks because it is the equivalent of getting a tour of the Capitol building for coffee lovers. And so, you know, it's like a historical spot. And walk in there and they're like, hey, we sell the beans that you can only get here. Like, okay, well, I don't have a bean like crusher, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Grinder, as they you know that a lot about that.
Don't deflect.
No, okay. You take the beans and you grind them up. Took me about 3 months to find somebody who had a grinder. other than Matty Ice. And so with that, grinded them up, and guess what? Tastes like every other cup of coffee I've ever had. Coffee all tastes the same. Where people, except for like when you get coffee at a store. Like, but otherwise,
I've heard people that swear by certain coffee in certain markets. And no, I've had people say, you know what? Buddy of mine loves White Castle coffee. Just loves it. Loves it. Says it's the best in the city. And I've had people say that, like,
my dad says that White Castle coffee was the best.
You know what that's like? It's like when people will say, I'm only going to McDonald's for their Diet Coke or their Sprite. Yeah. There's something different about a soda pop from a McDonald's. I don't know why I said soda pop.
It's either one of the two.
What are you, 85 years
Maddie,
old?
I don't know why I said you just put to rest every poll that's ever been done on whether it's soda or pop. You're like, just keep them together and we're good.
Just combine the two. It used to, back in the day, Rothman, you were there. It was called soda pop, wasn't it?
I thought it was just soda.
No, it just depends on, I assume, maybe way back, but I assume that it's just parts of the country that refer to it differently.
When I moved to Ohio from Maryland, it was a shock to the system that everyone here called it pop because it was just soda for me.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Going back for a second.
Sure.
Are you a big coffee guy? Because when I said that I didn't, like, it doesn't taste the same, you, like, perked up. Like, do you actually have, like, a grinder at home where you can grind the beans?
No, I don't drink coffee at all.
Oh. Well, then you seemed that was, like, a very distinct reaction.
I don't even remember my reaction, honestly.
You were like, whoa, let me be clear. I don't drink coffee, but you're wrong.
You want to know the poll question of the day?
Yes. Is this what you were debating?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what this is.
If you go on a first date, you take a first date to a baseball game. First date.
Okay.
And you get thrown up on the kiss cam at some point during the game.
Okay.
What is the move?
Well, you got to kiss her.
Okay.
What is your move?
Well, you read and react. Like,
or you can go the funny guy route. Like if you've got, the one thing that people have done really good is like the beer. If you have a beer, you kiss the beer. Like you could play it off. There's some alternates there.
Okay. I think that could get dicey though.
But see, the problem is then she's like
sending a message.
Why didn't you kiss me? Yeah.
You're sending a message.
What is your answer?
If you're sensing that she is welcome, it's a read and react situation.
Well, yeah, yes,
if it's
of
awkward,
course, it's a read and react. Yes, you gotta.
Well, you say just don't worry about her. Just go right in.
No, you got to make sure everybody involved is.
I don't know how much time you have.
Yeah, the hesitation might
to read and react.
Boy, okay, this was a very cut and dry thing, but now that you put it this way, this
layers to this.
Right. This gets
very awkward
because you certainly don't want to be the guy that ends up viral because he got rejected on the kiss cam.
That's right. Do you?
What? Why?
Oh, the sympathy votes? Oh, now you opened up the whole pool.
Or do you?
Wow.
This ends up on Twitter, on McAfee Show or whatever.
Wow.
You get some sympathy votes.
So little
those DMs popping after that.
Wow, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's a correct answer there. I think that is the worst case scenario.
Think about this. Like, you would think that a first kiss, you'd want it to be memorable if it's someone you eventually want to be with. I mean, I guess if it turns out it was at the ball game, it's okay. But I think you can talk your way out of, hey, when and if we have a first kiss, I don't want it to be on a kiss cam.
Who's coming up with these questions? Because here's the overarching question. You asked this question.
Yeah, I did.
Here's the overarching thing.
Yeah.
What are you doing taking a first date to a baseball game?
What's wrong with that?
We both thought it was actually a good move.
It's a good time.
What?
It's good energy.
It's
casual.
First of all, that is, you are locked in.
Wow.
You did kind of drop over. Your what was kind of mirroring.
I think it's,
right there.
Then you give us the ideal first date, sir.
The ideal first date, we'll make it full circle. You go to a coffee shop. You go to a...
No, that's not even a date.
You go to dinner. You go to dinner.
That's a
coffee shop.
You
that's
wake over there,
for
Matty?
both parties to kind of feel like they don't have to commit, and it's just a casual.
Okay.
Coffee shop.
Everybody's got somewhere else to be.
Okay, so then we're going to dinner. We're going to a nice dinner, a dinner that is out of your price range that you can only afford once. But you got to make that impression, So you're taking Butcher and Rose. You're pulling up to Butcher and Rose. They say, "Hey,
your price range?
Do you want a valet or park?" And you throw the keys at him. You say,
"Yeah,
we're valet and big guy." And then
you
You're
look at
false
her
advertising, though.
And you look at her and say, "Don't get used to this."
Yeah, and then that's and then you kiss her on that date, and then you say, "Hey, by the way, you want to go to a baseball game? That sounds more fun." And then you're golden. Or
and then it's Culver's for date number 2.
That's right.
I did not think it was. I did not think it was the worst thing ever.
The concrete mix
the
is
baseball
fire.
game. You
I'm
can
with
talk.
you,
You're sitting. It's
Correct.
casual.
There's action happening.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't have to fill every last dead air second.
I solved it. You just sit down and you know. And listen, I'm a very charming man, I believe. I sit down and say, "Hey, if we're on the kiss cam, what do you think?" And then you wink, and then that's it.
So you headed off at the pass, like before it even could happen.
Yeah. Or like right when the kiss cam pops up, you're like, "Hey, what if it?"
He's probably the guy, Maddie, that greased the booth up there and said, "Hey, I'm sitting in row 8, and here's $100. Put us on the kiss cam. I want to see how she reacts."
No, I think you got to say like, "Uh-oh, the kiss cam," and you get their vibe, and if they're like, "Yeah, it's no," then you just duck so they can't get you on the camera.
Adam King, you also look like a man that would wear a baseball glove to a baseball game. Am I reading that correctly?
No.
Okay, so your bare hands
If
catching
you can't
fumble.
catch it with it, listen, I'm not 12, okay? I'm also the guy that you want to know the most Adam King thing you're listening right now. I'm the guy that would catch a baseball and I would give it to the 6-year-old next to me only because I know the camera's on me.
You're good. I'll take back my dab. I was dabbing up Adam King as he was saying that. Now I got to take it back.
Because I know that camera's locked in, and that 6-year-old, and I'm like, all right, here we go, big guy. And then the camera looks away. I'm like, give me that ball back. Give me that.
Especially if you're on a date.
That's right.
What
Then
are you
it's-
doing with a baseball, though? Like, why would you need it?
Yeah, I don't need it. I give it to a kid. Exactly. I just take the pride in that.
Well,
I
can't
caught
you make
it.
the argument? What's the kid going to do with it?
I don't know.
No, it's
You
a
put
kid.
that on
They
your
want a
dresser,
baseball,
and they're like,
yeah.
hey, this is from my first MLB game.
They'll probably play
Kid's
with
going to go
it,
play
right?
catch with it, right?
Yeah.
I can go play catch in the yard. I just need
But this is a real Major League Baseball. That
I just need another adult who doesn't have a job.
Boy, there's a lot of people out there that play catch that have jobs. Is that? I don't think those are mutually exclusive there, Cole.
Name one.
You want to have a catch?
You want to have a catch.
All right. By the way, yeah, I never liked that line, have a catch. Let's play catch.
Let's play catch.
Yeah.
And you know,
yeah. Who's saying I want to have a? You want to have
Field
a
of Dreams.
my
New
goodness.
Yorkers.
Oh,
Field
you
of
work
Dreams.
with this man?
Field of Dreams.
That's
Hey, Dad, want to have a
fine.
catch?
a Field of Dreams.
It's fine.
It's okay. It's all right.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
all right.
iconic.
Yeah,
It's iconic.
it is.
Also, Maddie,
ahead,
did you
son.
see that they postponed a baseball game? Arizona State postponed a baseball game due to bees. There were bees on the field.
No, I did not.
When
see
you
that.
hear that, what movie comes to mind? There's one movie. Bees everywhere.
Bad News
The Bee
Bears.
movie.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Cole
That wasn't a
said-
baseball game, though.
Cole said.
I thought when you said it, I thought you were referring to what baseball movie.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Then Cole,
I mean, I got
Cole-
it, but
Cole said "Bee Move Me," so that "Bee Movie" really fits. That Maddie didn't respond. You got it, and Cole said "Bee Movie." That was a great advertisement for what this show really is.
in a nutshell, we got it. All right, so we had a departure at Ohio State in basketball. This one, I don't know where this is on the surprise meter, but I think it leaned a little more towards surprise based on what we thought was the priority about retention. But this could be part of the master plan. We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan. Get Eco.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Something is wrong.
Something's wrong?
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Get Eco.
Thumping and bumping and jumping.
What is?
But it's not pumping.
Get Eco.
Jerry?
Yeah, Aaron.
Are we talking about your sump pump?
Yeah, isn't it great?
Isn't what great?
I like the sound of it. Sump pump. Sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
Get Eco.
Jerry, can you keep a secret?
Aaron, I'm as silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
I kind of like to say it too.
Hey, I should invent a sump pump that lets you know when it's working.
How would it do that?
It would say, sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
That's a great idea, Jerry, but a sump pump should be exactly like you.
How so?
As silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Get Eco.
TellOhio.com.
When you are a member of TellOhio, your money works harder for you. Lock in 4% APY on a 24-month CD and watch your savings grow with a credit union built for its members. Visit tellohio.org to learn more.
Federally insured by NCUA. Membership open to anyone in Ohio. Restrictions apply.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM.
Mortgage rates have dropped, and the best news is they're expected to go down even more. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. If you've been thinking about buying a new home, now is the time. And with Third Federal's Buy Now, Refi Later program, you don't have to wait for rates to drop again. You get the guaranteed lowest rate now, and if rates drop later, even after you close, you can refinance to a lower rate for free. That's right, for free. And now with Third Federal's early rate lock, you can lock in the guaranteed lowest rate even before you find a house. So you'll always have the best rate. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today and lock in the guaranteed lowest rate.
Right now at Third Federal, lock in 5.99% APR 6.02% on a 30-year fixed rate purchase mortgage and refinance later if rates go down for free. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for buy now, refi later. Lowest rate guarantee and early rate lock at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Bo Bishop has many friends. He calls none of them by their actual names. Let's see, there's Reese and Bake. And we can't forget about the Blonde. Bootsy, Beansy, NBC, Buddy Garrity, Little Mo with a gimpy leg. The list never ends. And then there's First Friday, which really isn't a Friday at all. He's always the first stop on the Paul Feinbaum apology tour. Tom Taberry frequently calls him Babe. Oh, and there's a lot of conversation about drinky poo. A lot. You should probably listen to it because I'm sure my sales pitch makes no sense. Bishop and Friends, weekdays from 9 to noon. The Fan.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Think you know Buckeye football? These two say, hold my beer. The Beat with Austin and Berm.
Sponsored by the Waterworks.
Daily on the Fan's YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 4 windows and get 4 free plus an extra 10% off from windownation.com.
All right, little Buckeye Bulletin. So, I don't know, about 20 some odd hours ago, Devin Royal decides to hit the portal. And I think that in this day and age, unless it's an absolute superstar that's leaving, I think a lot of the fan base is probably like, it's more on the kid, like they feel like, why is he leaving? Well, think about what's going on now with trying to fit a roster together. And it would make sense to me that he would be one of those guys that you would covet. Local kid, you're invested in him, 3 years in the program. Like back in the day, it's like you knew who you had coming back. Mm-hmm. This would be such an outlier to see a senior, or a guy that's going to be a senior, leave the program now. And especially with it being his time a little bit, Bruce is leaving, and who's going to kind of be one of the leaders of the team. But you remember what happened this year. As much as they wanted Devin to be a leader, it never really hit. And so I think just because you're a senior doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be able to stay. And I think that's what Ohio State probably told him, and that we probably have a certain amount allocated, but this might be a win-win. He could either go somewhere else and be a one guy or be a really important guy, and then maybe get more. But with what Ohio State has coming back and has coming in, Maddie, I think the Bynum leap this year affected this dramatically.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I think in a perfect world, having him back would be ideal to help along a young guy like an Anthony Thompson, because while it looks like he's going to be a special player, you just never know, right, with freshmen right out of the gate. So maybe not having a world to where he's going to have a whole bunch on his plate would have been great, but obviously that's not going to be the case. I mean, Devin Royal, when you catch him on the right day, the dude's an absolute buck and getter, but sometimes you watch him and it's just kind of out there floating around, not being the player that he can be. And so I didn't have this on my radar, honestly, that Royal wasn't going to be a part of the equation. I thought that they would be able to hit the ground running next year with obviously Mobley and Royal, and then the young guys coming in and Bynum returning as well. But now they've got a massive hole to fill, because we could say what we want about Devin's game. I mean, that was 13 to 15 a night, and that was a guy that along the way showed that he could be a key contributor to a team that
massive.
I don't know about a massive hole.
Massive?
Yeah, I don't see that.
To me, when you lose a guy that's scoring 14 a night, that's a big hole to fill.
Okay. I just don't think they need another 3 guy. That's the only thing I'm understanding.
Positionally, I hear what you're saying.
Positioning, it's not a massive hole.
Productivity, though, that's not nothing to lose 14 a night. And if you guys are sitting here telling me that Bynum's going to be that guy, is he going to be that guy?
I think the guy that it's going to be is not on the roster right now. I think your starting 5 next year is going to be Bynum, it's going to be Thompson, and it's going to be Mobley.
Who's scoring the 14 a night?
And then it's going to be 2 guys in the portal.
Who's scoring that 14 a night?
First of all, Thompson's going to fill a major void.
He's not coming here to sit.
No,
right?
Thompson is coming here to.
I hear what you're saying, but who is the player that's replacing that?
He's in the portal.
We may not know yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Although I don't know, if you go out and get yourself a center who can play with his back to the basket and score inside, then I think you could. Or if Bynum becomes not just a drive to the rack guy, because he's an imposing dude, but you imagine if Bynum can actually play in the post.
I hear what you guys are saying, but there's a lot of ifs there.
Well, so
you knew what you had in him. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the biggest thing. And first of all, I like Devin Royal. I think Devin Royal was a good locker room piece. He was perfect for the Diebler system. I think he just didn't pan out. He didn't reach the ceiling that he was expected to reach. And there were a lot of times this year where Devin Royal caused some frustrating moments for Buckeye basketball. You could argue there were a couple games where Devin Royal, if he plays a little different, Ohio State was never on the bubble. With that,
Virginia.
That's
plays at Michigan State.
Yeah. So if you think of it as a pie, though, think of it as a pie. Okay. You can either have 2 chunks here, and they're not big chunks, but they're chunks, or you can take that money and you can put it into one big chunk in the transfer portal and say, I'm going to go get a guy. What did Ohio State need last year? They needed an imposing center. They needed a guy that when you went down low, you didn't say, okay, you got to score. I mean,
that's fair, AK, but let me ask you this. Based off of how some of the returns have been with guys coming out of the portal, how confident are you that they're going to find that guy or guys right now?
Well, I think that's why they're looking for a GM. The Ohio State basketball wants a GM, and you have to swing and hit this time, and they know it. They have to go out and find. First of all, it's not that hard to find. I mean, it's talent evaluation. Go look at what Michigan did. Go look at what so many programs have done where they've gone and found a guy. I think it's just
they have money.
I know, and now you have a little more money.
A little bit,
with Devin Royal not coming back because he's getting a little bit of that pie.
And they might have more money even without him, with him. But I'm with you on. What he's saying, Maddie, if I read you correctly, is that Ohio State basketball was probably swinging at tier 2 guys last year in the portal, and now maybe they can play up in tier 1 a little bit in the portal.
That would be great. Here's where I'm at, though.
Still have to hit.
Absolutely, right? And the hit rate right now isn't great, if we're being honest. It's not great right now.
Well,
but it's also not only subtracting him from the equation, it's Bruce as well. And so you're losing 2 of your top 3 scores in the same offseason. And now you're telling me that just out of the blue, these guys are going to come from the portal?
Well, no, I mean, Bynum is going to take a major step forward. I mean, we all agree that.
He will if he starts to be able to play in the paint like a post player.
Yeah. And Thompson is probably going to be one of the most impactful freshmen we've seen here since D'Angelo Russell. And so,
Maddie, they get a tier 1 veteran point guard and a tier 1 center, then I don't think you're going to miss.
No. And the other thing is, you were right about one thing. last year Ohio State swung for Tier 2. And Tilly had his moments, but boy, Tilly had his moments. And it got frustrating at times. But Ohio State the season before, they went and swung, and they got the big hitter in Bradshaw. And that was about the worst. I mean, that was a strikeout of all strikes. I mean, that was strikeout swinging.
And Stewart.
And that definitely makes you a little shy for the next year. But you can't be shy this year. You got to go.
So are you guys telling me that they're going to be a better basketball team without Devin Royal? Is that what I'm hearing from you guys?
Yes.
Based on, and why will they be? Tell me that.
Based on the cumulative increase of what they get.
We don't know what they're getting, though. So that's why I can't sit here and say.
I know. Just wait.
Big picture-wise.
He's holding my hand, folks.
I love that. You're on the kiss cam now.
Hey, big guy. Just give it a minute. Technically, Devin Royal isn't in the portal. The portal doesn't open until April 7th. So just
no, you're right. You got to wait and see who they fill it with. But I think that while Devin can give you a lot, he just didn't give it consistently, and I don't think he took the leap they really wanted him to make. I also think, like, if they were going to really invest in Devin, they probably weren't that convinced that he could be a leader for them. Like, because when they needed him the most this year, there were times where they couldn't count on him, and that's just being real. I mean, there are other guys. I mean, Mobley's taping up his fingers. He's playing after a surgery. Tilly's warming up on one leg. Like, they probably didn't want to spend the money there. And if they really need, I think they're going shopping for needs. And like I said, if you get a point guard and a center.
Are you shopping for things that you don't need sometimes?
Well, wants and needs are two different things.
Okay. Give me an example of when you would go shopping for a want.
A new pair of shoes. I don't necessarily need them.
Oh, but you just, okay, wow.
You just want some.
I guess I don't have AR money.
I don't. That's my fact.
I apologize.
If I'm walking around buying a new suit. Here's the difference. If I'm walking around in socks, I need shoes.
That's right.
If I already have shoes and I want another pair, that's the difference.
So let me ask you this, and this is a full circle here, okay? I hope this pans out because I'm really leaning into it. Let me say this.
Because you struck out on the first attempt.
That's right. I did. A real Aaron Bradshaw there. When you want a pair of shoes, you're less likely to spend more money. But if you need a pair of shoes, you're probably going to spend a little more money to go get that best pair of shoes. Right?
No, because it depends. It actually
swing and a miss. Well,
it depends whether for you being on the runway, yes, you need the highest end. I mean, $200 doesn't buy you a pair of shoes. I mean, you're the best.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you ever heard of Nordstrom Rack? It's the best store in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they sell shoes for more than $100.
That is accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've bought them on occasion.
It doesn't sound right. That is accurate. That is accurate.
It's an interesting deal because I think that this was not what I anticipated. I thought that these guys would feel like they got Ohio State right where they want them. They have to retain them. There's a little momentum in the program, and look at what Ohio State did. They probably didn't want to meet that price.
The other thing, too, I think we can all agree on is that they got to find a way to get more depth on this roster, too. Like, they were really top-heavy last year as far as all the minutes played. They got to find a way to get guys that will come off the bench and be
Matty Ice,
contributors.
We got to get ready.
Don't you know how much time's on the clock?
Yeah, so I was going to say we got to go to break, but if you get depth, then the pie gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
I don't want to hear about the pie.
Okay, well, the pie is real.
I don't want to hear about
the pie. is real.
Matty wants to hear about the pie if it's a la mode. Other than that,
you want an endless pie.
That's right. All right, good to see you, my man. We'll see you over at Nordstrom's.
Sounds good. The rack. Okay, I don't have the rack. All right.
I'm sure you've strolled through the big boy before.
Yeah, they have a coffee shop in there. It's very nice.
We're coming back, top of the hour. Myles Garrett is a Brown forever. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
I'm the guy that would catch a baseball, and I would give it to the 6-year-old next to me, only because I know the camera's on me.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
He's a husband, a dad, owner of a gym. He's also a police officer. Staying strong and pain-free isn't optional. It's safety. That's why David Boardman's a QC Kinetics patient.
My job is dependent on my physical ability and my physical fitness so that I can protect myself, so that I can go home safe to my family at the end of the night.
But severe knee pain nearly took that away. Doctors said surgery, shut down the workouts. David needed another option. That was QC Kinetics. They told him,
we're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
They used David's own healing tools in his blood to help restore his knees. Regenerative treatments right in the office.
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week.
Trust the team helping active people avoid surgery. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
It's Timmy Hall here with Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending. Now, Gordon, I remember hearing of your no-cost mortgages back in 2008 when I was on the air in Raleigh-Durham. So what brings you to Central Ohio?
Hey, Tim. Small world, isn't it? But we saw Columbus as the perfect market to offer our no-closing cost mortgage product. With a growing population and relocations, it was similar to our original decision to expand into Raleigh back in '96.
Well, I get to see firsthand how well it worked in Carolina. So how about explaining to our listeners how it truly has no closing cost associated?
That's right, Tim. Way back in 1987, I found a way to do mortgages without using the standard method of buying the rate down with thousands of dollars in various costs. Rates were volatile, much like they are today. And folks were stuck at higher rates because it simply cost too much to refinance. There had to be a better way, and we think we found it.
That was Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending, the home of the no-cost loan. Give him a call, 877-9-NO-COST, or online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 2502146.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I love my Kubota tractor, RTV, and zero-turn I got from Green & Sons, and you can check them out online at greenandsons.com or visit them in store in Mount Sterling or north of Marysville in Raymond for all your Kubota needs.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Statistics show that roughly 20 veterans die by suicide every day in the United States. Canines for Warriors is the leading nonprofit organization providing highly trained service dogs to veterans with PTSD and other invisible wounds of war. Backed by scientific research, Canines for Warriors has transformed the lives of more than 1,000 veterans, helping them reclaim their independence. To find out more, please visit caninesforwarriors.org.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. After a strong freshman campaign, forward Amari Bynum announced he's coming back to Ohio State, where he averaged 9.7 points and 4.9 rebounds last year. Bynum started the last 24 games and helped the Buckeyes to their first NCAA tournament in 4 years. Elsewhere in men's college hoops, after 3 straight MAC titles at Akron, former OSU assistant John Gross will be the next head coach at Charleston. MLB Reds host the Pirates at 6:40. Guardians visit the defending champion Dodgers at 10:10. Pro Football, NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported the Browns withdrew their proposal to allow trading draft picks 5 years in advance rather than 3. This comes after Rams head coach Sean McVay indicated it was unlikely to pass at this week's annual league meetings. This update sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co., locally inspired dishes and award-winning cocktails. Visit highbankco.com to make your reservation. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program. Ian Fitzsimmons, 2:30. And we'll get into the brackets with him, too. But I guarantee people turned that game off, thinking that Duke was rolling. I'll watch something else.
Probably.
I'll do something else.
For sure.
And you missed a great comeback. And you missed the shot of the tournament by Braylon Mullins, a freshman for UConn, who never expected to have that ball in his hands at that point, and then realized he had to pull the trigger. He had no time to even probably feel pressure in a way, other than he knew that at that point, with the amount of time was left, well, now I have to shoot it. And nobody was on him. He was too deep for anybody to be on him. And the fact that if he doesn't make it, then we're not talking about what a choke job this is. We're just survive in advance, and Duke wins another close one. And then, in a way, Duke starts feeling that maybe they're destined, that we were going to hand this game away, and somehow we're still dancing. But now everything's the opposite way. And you and I talked about this a lot in the first hour. This is a good coach in John Shire. He's got to get his team to the finish line, and he's building an awful resume of blown leads. The problem is when you're Duke and you don't lose that many games, they remember the ones you do lose. And he's losing them in such a bad fashion that it's getting to that narrative of, why can't you manage your team and make the proper adjustments? No, probably not that simple. The other team goes down 19, but you would think if UConn was going to come back and win that game, Maddie, it was because they were shooting 50% from 3. They were awful from 3. And they found a way to get back in it. Hurley's a hell of a coach. Now, what happened with the ref?
So, oh my God. Dan Hurley, in the most respectful way, is a sicko, and I love these type of coaches and players that are just nuts. And he is one of those guys. So after that play happens, I think a ref was going over to the monitor for something or over to the sideline to do something. Hurley meets him right there at the sideline and ends up going forehead with this ref.
So it was like a funny, he was trying to have a funny moment.
Like he was just so hype and overly emotional in the moment. He goes forehead to forehead with this ref. And I'm glad that the ref just let Hurley have his moment, because have to imagine there's some refs out there that get caught up in the moment. Obviously, you can't touch a ref or anything like that. And maybe there's a ref or two out there that would have teed him up in the moment. Because I guess by the book, that's what should have happened. And I'm glad that the ref didn't go down that path and let him have a human moment. But Hurley easily could have been the GOAT in a bad way, right? He could have put his team in a bad situation, because if the ref tees him up, then obviously they're going to the line, and it's probably ball game there. So Hurley definitely got away with something there.
It's weird. My first reaction to it is that somehow they had a playful moment, that he was going over to either check the clock, and Hurley met him there, and
that's how it hit me too. It was a playful moment.
His reaction was weird, but he's probably out of his head at that point. There's a gray area there. Like if any player did that to a ref, then you're in weird. But it was, I guess, time and place. It was just kind of the way he did it. It wasn't anything that he was trying to do other than...
Yeah, he wasn't coming after the ref in any way.
Kind of playfully impeding him for maybe overturning. Was there enough time left or whatever?
It was an innocent moment.
I mean, you're right, though. If they follow the letter of the law and Hurley initiated contact with a ref and he gets a technical foul there, Duke gets 2 free throws with Evans going to the line, who's 86%. And now all of a sudden, He hits
the
both.
story today.
Yeah, or he hits one, you're going to OT.
Right.
Doesn't have to hit both.
Did you, speaking of the Hurley family, the reaction from Dan Hurley's mom that's going around? By the way, great job by the camera crew for catching that, because that whole that crowd, who do you lock in on? They lock in on his mom, and they catch his mom saying, holy bleeping bleep. With the shot. With it was awesome. It was great. The whole moment was cool.
There's no reason to lose that game if you're Duke. The strong on the ball comment just isn't enough detail. I hope I don't know. He obviously didn't instruct his team that, hey, we do not have to get this ball over the timeline. We just don't. If the Red Sea parts, then let's do it. But if not, you're not passing this ball 3-4 times. Inbound, back to the inbound, or center court, try to go front court. Like, you're not trying to break a press. You hold the ball. They have to come to you. There's no way UConn can risk trying to get a 5-second call. There's not enough time left. The only thing they could have done is maybe try to go for a tie up. And that's why I think Duke held their last timeout. For last emergency, we need a timeout. If we can't even inbound the ball, we're going to need it. So I didn't crush them earlier for that, but once they get the ball in bounds, then they got to come to you. You hit one free throw, then you're going to OT at worst. If you make them both, game's over. But UConn had no time to wait. They would have fouled. So here we are. The other thing that happened this weekend, Maddie, is Myles Garrett. And the contract tweak, everyone tried to connect the dots, like if the Browns are redoing his contract, that maybe they're keeping their options open for a potential trade. And we had some teams that were emerging late. It was Dallas. It was Philly. There may have been another one, Buffalo maybe. And Andrew Berry has put that to rest in a big way.
Myles is a career Brown. He is one of the faces of our organization. I think we've been very clear, both past and present, in terms of our feelings on that. So I understand all the questions. I'll be honest, I don't really want to waste a ton more breath on it.
It's pretty emphatic. He could have danced around it because they structured his contract in a way that keeps the trade conversation going. And I thought, hey, both things can be true. You can love him and want him, but keep your options open. That's good business. And that's why we were talking about it. And Cleveland, as he said, very adamant about it, that even the restructure. So in his own words, we're not doing it. So now he's kind of painting himself into a corner. I guess he could say if we were given if this deal didn't exist when I gave you that comment.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think, look, and I respect what he's saying. I'm in the camp of I think they should trade him at this point because.
To get what?
I think you can mess around and get a couple ones for Myles. I think that's the case. And I think the Raiders were in a headspace where they looked around the facility. They looked around their division and where they are and realized we're not close. And so we have an asset that can help our rebuild and maybe fast track our rebuild a little bit. And they tried to move on from Max Crosby. And obviously that didn't work because the physical went south, according to Baltimore's side of things. And I think that's what the Browns should be realizing too. And it's easy for me to say. If I'm a player, coach on that team, I'm telling myself to kick rocks for saying this. But I just don't think what they're going to get from Myles while he's there over the last couple of years is going to equate to a whole bunch of winning. And so I just think those draft picks in my mind right now would be more valuable than what Myles is going to bring to the field the next couple of years, to where I still think they're going to be scratching and clawing to be relevant. And so I'd trade him.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, he's a sack machine. Everybody knows it. And rarely do you get to dangle a guy like this out there that you'll get 2 first and something great also.
Yeah.
And it's emotional, right? Because he's a great legendary player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's still in the back end of his prime.
Mm-hmm.
And so you feel like if you could catch a little lightning in a bottle offensively, draft a receiver, maybe the quarterback takes a step in the right direction, that maybe you could find a way to challenge for the division. But if these guys that make the decisions, if Andrew Berry is a guy who feels like he has a long runway to get this thing back to where they want it, and it seems like he does, then I think he would be interested in that. I agree. It's something you definitely look to possibly do. Now, you'd certainly weaken your team a lot. And you'd have to be willing to have those draft picks. You got to hope those work too. You know, those are just picks. Those aren't.
No doubt.
But he put it to rest. And I don't even know if he had to publicly, probably. But he could still do business if he wanted to.
I also think, too, if they had a name under center that you could sell tickets and he is a needle mover, that this would make this decision easier. From a business side of things, from ownership, he's a guy for us that we can put up on the billboards, and people are coming to the stadium to see 95. If they had a quarterback that was an attraction, I think that makes this decision easier from a business side of things, too.
They're the one brand.
Not?
What's that?
In 12?
You could argue that. You could argue that. I don't know if we're fully there yet, but I think there's a conversation for sure.
They're lucky in that they're the one brand that they're still going to sell tickets. They just have such a diehard fan base.
Yeah, Browns fans are real ones. They are.
All right, we're going to come back, and this broke right after we got off the air on Friday, and Tiger Woods seems to be in a world of hurt. Is he? We'll discuss next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Common Man here for Jermaine. Everybody's talking about affordability when buying a car these days, but the truth is, GoJermaine.com has a great selection of affordable inventory. Maybe that tax return's going to hit your mailbox pretty soon. Well, go see my friends because they have 300 new cars under 30 grand, over 300 used cars under 20 grand, and it's only at GoJermaine.com. And along with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started at GoJermaine.com.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in store. We'll bring your groceries right to you in our refrigerated trucks so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
And now you can enjoy free delivery on orders of $50 or more with your digital coupon. Place your order today. Restrictions apply. See coupon for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. You know, there was a time if you handed me a bread basket at dinner, it was like feeding a gator. You might lose a finger. Bread, pasta, pizza, man, carbs were undefeated in my life. That is, until Awaken 180 weight loss came in and flipped the script. Look, I've run the gauntlet of diets, and each time, carbs won by knockout. But Awaken 180 isn't a diet. It's a whole new playbook for changed up lifestyle. We all know it's necessary to lose that weight, but this is to keep it off. That constant carb craving, the one we all shrug off as normal, gone. Sure, I still love my pizza, but here's the difference. Now I don't need it. So now, most times when that waiter hustles over with a basket of temptation, I just grin, give a little nod, and wave it away like I'm passing on a 4th and long. Because I'm in control now. Awaken 180 isn't just a game changer, it's a life changer. Trust me. Call them at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Your future self will thank you.
The new Omaha Steak Store is now open at 1033 Polaris Parkway at Polaris Commons. Stop in today and save 50% store-wide on legendary steaks, burgers, and more. Plus, get doorbuster deals starting at just $19.99. Discover the Omaha Steaks difference today at the new store at Polaris Commons in Columbus.
Spring is hatching at the Columbus Zoo. Join us April 3rd and 4th for Eggs, Paws, and Claws. Snap a pic with the Easter Bunny, meet Egbert, roll into Shelley's Celebration, and crack the clues in the Explore and Find. It's 2 extra fun days you won't want to miss. Get your discounted tickets at Kroger.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. That's UFLaviators.com. United, we fly.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Some foot issues just can't be fixed by those expensive shoe stores or shoe inserts. A foot exam from a doctor of podiatric medicine, who is the medical expert in foot and ankle care, may give solutions after doing a complete foot examination. If you suffer from foot, heel, or ankle pain, let us help you find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association so you know you are being treated by the very best. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see mostly cloudy skies here for today with highs into the lower 70s here this afternoon. And then for tomorrow, we'll see more partly cloudy skies, some more sunshine, and even warmer temperatures with highs in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. It will be very windy as winds gust out of the southwest at 40 miles per hour. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on The Buckeye Show. New special guests in everything scarlet and gray. The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Listen, I think that we're going to talk about this story, and it's probably going to turn out to be results-based. If this was, there are a lot of people that really love Tiger Woods. Legendary athlete, transcends sport, household name everywhere in the world, it seems like. Yeah. Like, he has that.
We throw out the term needle mover a lot. Yeah. At least I do. He's the true definition of one.
Individual sport.
He gets people to come to the TV screen to watch that don't care about golf. To your point. That's what he is.
So I understand that. And even when on Friday, when we broke the fact that he was he signed up to play the U.S. Senior at Scioto. It was a big deal because it was a senior tour. He's turned 50. He's eligible. And if he's going to make his first appearance on that tour in our city at a famed course where the legend Jack Nicklaus learned how to play golf, and the fact that he's won the Memorial, said 5 times, and back in Columbus, and how many times he's won at Firestone, and he's had such great success in Ohio, it was a big deal. And then 3 hours later, we're finding out he's in an accident where he rolled his SUV. And I remember texting you guys, like, we all have, thank God, avoided rollover accidents. Doesn't mean you can't drive through an intersection and have somebody blow a red light and T-bone you. Like, that could happen. But everything you heard from the cops, it was like either he was impatient. They thought he was impaired. They still think he's impaired. But he wasn't drunk. He blew 000s on the breathalyzer, but they still think that he was impaired. So whether you take a guess, anything, painkills, medication that made him drowsy, something that altered his ability to drive a vehicle, or even more importantly, make good decisions. Because all I kept thinking about was, okay, he didn't hurt himself, as far as we know. Yeah. Unbelievable. Nobody else was hurt. Unbelievable. The fact that on a 30-mile-an-hour road, he rolled his car and it didn't skid into a pedestrian, someone walking their dog, a child playing. Like, this is horrendous that he would make that kind of decision. And I can't wait till somebody where he puts his mouth in front of a microphone and has to talk his way out of this one. The good news is that this is not a felony. He's not going to jail. But it's another, quote, DUI, even though I don't think they'll be able to prove it because he refused to have the urine test. So the one that I'm thinking is that he's going to get his license revoked, or suspended, rather, for a while. Like, you go all the way back. I mean, we're going way back. The whole crash with the SUV when his wife found him and all that, that was a careless driving one. And then in 2017, he was arrested on DUI in Florida. They found him asleep behind the wheel of a parked vehicle. So he's in command of the vehicle. He pled guilty to reckless driving. And then 5 years ago was the one when you and I were on the air late in the show.
Yeah.
During COVID, that he was supposedly driving too fast for conditions. It was a weird turn. It was out in California. He was leaving a photo shoot to get somewhere.
He was giving lessons or something?
Yeah.
Wasn't he giving lessons to celebrities or athletes or something at the time?
Going to an event,
something like that? Yeah. Okay.
And that's when he shattered his right leg and his ankle. And it changed the whole course of any possible real comeback.
Yeah.
And then Friday, he rolls his vehicle. So I know he gets a little bit of a pass because he's so famous and so many people like him and love what he's meant to sport and love watching him play. And they feel sympathy. They want him to not be hurt. And I get that. But this is just, you're 50. Grow up. Mature. Find a way to not be impatient or impaired behind the wheel, even worse. And I can't prove it, and they won't be able to either. But if he was gunning it past this guy's pickup and caught the rear left of his bumper and it rolled his vehicle?
Scary stuff, man.
That means how fast could he have been going?
Yeah, that's scary stuff to say the least. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate when you see people, whether they're celebrities or not be able to get out of their own way when it comes to repeating the same mistakes. And so now we got a track record here with Tiger with this stuff. And it's unfortunate because he is such a beloved figure, but he's also a grown man. And like you're saying, get to a certain point where you got to just be able to level up mentally and realize that, hey, I shouldn't be doing certain things. But I've also learned, too, that age is just a number with some people. Doesn't matter how young, older you are. The older you get, sometimes that doesn't mean the wiser that you get. And so for Tiger and for certain people, sometimes you just have to hit rock bottom for it to really shake the room. For him, he's been close to that a couple times now, and it just doesn't seem like he can get right. And so, yeah, to say it's unfortunate and all that is just, just doesn't sell it enough.
Yeah.
This is a guy now that just really needs to wrap his mind around what the heck he's doing in life and realizing that there are a lot of people that are counting on him. There's a lot of people that look up to him. And when you make these kind of mistakes, there's going to be maybe some of those people that start to go the other way with supporting you when you keep putting yourself in harm's way and, like you said, potentially others as well. So he's very lucky in that space.
Yeah, this isn't the infidelity and all that. We don't have to get into that part of it. That's a whole different than making really good decisions behind the wheel on a 30-mile-an-hour road with double yellow, no passing, and supposedly they feel like you were impaired. Like, this wasn't just a bad decision. Anyone can make a bad decision because no one can forecast the future on what might happen. And if you wanted to pass this vehicle, we've all done it. You get a little impatient.
No doubt.
But if he was impaired, and he had really no right to be controlling a vehicle, and this is a guy who, as you say, like 5 years ago, you had the ultimate wake-up call. Mm-hmm. You almost killed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this not long ago with Myles Garrett. And he still drives like a maniac, apparently.
I think you get to a level, and I don't know. This is just a guess. But I think you can get to a certain level, and you just have so much power, and you've had it for years and years the way some of these guys do and gals do, that you just feel like I can do anything I want when I want. And no matter the result, no matter what happens, I'll be able to get out of it because I'm Celebrity X. And that's sad to say, but I'm not going to be surprised if that's how some of these people are wired at this point in their careers.
Does it matter, Maddie, whether or not, like if he really did a sit-down tell-all interview about, okay, what's going on? Like, what is going on for you? I have no problem with him wanting to drive. I know people, you got all the money, more money than God, get a driver. Okay. These guys, they like driving.
Mm-hmm.
I like driving. People like driving. He can afford
control.
He can afford any vehicle he wants, and it's kind of cool, right? And nobody wants to. Maybe some people do want to be driven around, but you're right. Maybe a control thing. But I wonder if he did like a sit down, like, because I think what people want to know is, because I think they have a lot of sympathy for what's going on with his body and the injuries. Mm-hmm. Now, some of them are brought on by himself, but
that's real.
Like, is there a difference between whether he over medicated on painkillers or whether he was on something illicit? Like, I think that
I think
there is a little bit of a difference, for people thinking, man, this guy probably wakes up every day and cannot get rid of the pain. Now, I'm not excusing that, of course.
Sure.
He shouldn't be behind the wheel of a car if he's on those kinds of meds, but
I think the volume gets turned down from the court of public opinion if that is his reasoning. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
More of the sympathy will come in to play here because we've literally seen with our own eyes him not be able to walk up and down a fairway without using a 3-wood for a crutch or something like that. So I think to answer your question that some people will back off just a little bit if that's what he wants to roll out there as his reasoning.
Listen, the great news is he crawled out. No one's talking about him having to go to the hospital. No one's talking about another driver or pedestrian or anybody else.
Yeah.
But that was in, and I don't know exactly where it is, but I've seen the pictures. It was a double yellow, 30 mile an hour, they supposedly said. And how far the SUV skid and the marks that were on the street, they thought he was going at a really high, or he gunned it right as he saw a guy slowing down or wanting to turn, and here we go. And anyone can make a stupid decision, but if he's on something while he's driving, zero excuse, zero sympathy. All right, we'll come back with our friend Ian Fitzsimmons and hit brackets with him and the coach that pulled it off. He is a 1 in a million type of guy. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Spring cleaning is a thing that happens in the spring. Go figure, it's in the name. But as you're getting rid of some stuff in your house that you no longer need, doesn't work right, or you never should have had in the first place, why don't you add your windows to that list? Yeah, your windows may have bad insulation. That's why they let in the cold air in the winter and the warm air in the summer. Makes your home less energy efficient. It's costing you money every single month. With Window Nation, you get high-quality, energy-efficient products at a great price. All of Window Nation's products are backed by a lifetime warranty, and right now is a great time to upgrade. The more you buy, the more you save in March. Up to 50% off all window styles from Window Nation. Plus, there's great financing options, including $0 down, 0% interest for 60 months, and payments as little as $199 a month. The first step is getting a consultation with Window Nation so they can find the problem areas in your house. I'm going to guess they're near the windows. So schedule that consultation for free today at windownation.com. Once again, that's windownation.com.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. We are an independent financial planning firm ready to help you make the right decision for yourself, your family, and your future. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Bo Bishop here. Picture this. Windows down, the beautiful countryside rolling by, the kids laughing in the back, and nowhere you have to be but wherever the road takes you. That's RV life. Find yours at RCD RV. 3 locations in Central Ohio or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Truth of the matter is, you're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
All right, he's our man. He's Ian Fitzsimmons, ESPN, Sideline, and more. All right, you get to play for one coach in college basketball right now. Are you choosing Dan Hurley?
Yeah, I would. That's an interesting question because I think UConn has now become more hated than Duke. And think about that, folks. I mean, in large part, it's Dan Hurley and not just confidence, but his arrogance. And he coaches those kids hard, and they love every bit of it. I remember watching an interview with him last year when they didn't make it to the Final Four. They're only won in the last 4 years. And he said we have to do a better job of scouting the parents going forward. And I thought that was interesting. Then the follow-up was like, what do you mean scouting the parents? He goes, I got to make sure that they've raised their kid in a form that they can handle the way we coach here at UConn. meaning they're going to coach you hard, and you have to want every single bit of it. And that's something. Go back to when Frank Martin, former head coach of South Kakalaki in Kansas State, right, when he made a Final Four run, and he was asked about his coaching style. Remember, I mean, that dude was red-faced, and in his players' faces nonstop, and he's catching hell in the national media. And he made the comment, it's not the players today that can't take it. It's the way the players today were raised by their candy bleeping parents. And that is spot on, man. I mean, we're living in a day and age for the last decade or so where we're giving out participation medals, you know, and this and that just for competing in a swim meet. I think I've told you guys that story about my younger daughter, Marin, when she was on a swim team like 10 years ago, and whomever was supposed to do the breaststroke didn't show up. So Marin does it, finishes second to last, and they gave her this little medal, and she goes, "What do I get this for?" I said, "Well, you tried hard." Because I finished second to last and gave the medal back. I've never been more proud of one of my kids than in that moment right there.
Lupus, you can take this trophy and your apology and
stick it. Right? It was awesome. I've never been more proud of my life, man. I'm telling you, Dan Hurley coaches those kids so hard, and they want every bit of it and then some. That's why I would go coach for him, because I needed to be coached hard. I was lazy as hell, and if I didn't have discipline and somebody putting a boot up my butt, I wasn't going to do it.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. I want to zoom out from the tourney and get your reaction to what Andrew Berry had to say about Myles Garrett, Fitzy, because I'm in the camp of, I believe with where the Browns are right now, that they should trade Myles Garrett, because I don't think they're that close, right? And he's going to be on the back nine of his career here over the next few seasons. Where are you at with Andrew Berry and him coming out and saying Myles is a career Brown? I hear that, and I respect it, but I would trade him, Fitzy. What would you do?
I'm going to say the same thing that I said about with the Raiders and Max Crosby. And I did like Barry's last comment there, right, to Mary Kay Cabot, who that woman can put some words together, and she knows some football, man. But when he said, and I think we should stop wasting air with the Myles Garrett conversation. I'm like, oh man, that was a good one. I enjoyed it. But I said this, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. You can either lose with him or get better and lose without him. Meaning you get better in the long term, but in the short term, you're still going to lose, but you can acquire a heck of a lot of value for him. I said the same thing with Max Crosby. They dealt him. They got the haul, meaning the Baltimore Ravens, and then obviously the medicals didn't pan out. That is the exact same thing in Cleveland. You can lose with Myles Garrett or go get a haul for him, because he still does have 3 or 4 elite years left. But to your point, he is on the back nine. I would deal him also.
Yeah, we've come to the same.
That now, by the way,
yeah.
I would be dropping that right now. Hey, bidding war is open. Who wants the NFL's all-time sack leader? Go.
I'm with you, and maybe you're right. I mean, this is pretty emphatic. Him saying that we're wasting our time talking about it. He's really painting himself into a corner. Maybe he doesn't care. But yeah, if Dallas or the Philly or the Bills or somebody came to him and said, "All right, name your price. We'll give you 3 firsts or something," he's not going to turn that. I wouldn't think he'd turn that down. I guess he could.
Hope not.
Yeah, I guess he could say, "Hey, that deal didn't exist when I made that comment." But and Myles has been.
The other part.
What's that?
Hey, here's another part also. What time of year is this, and what's going on right now?
Nothing.
NFL owners meetings.
Yeah.
We're 24 days away from the NFL draft. Hey, look, when we get to SEC and Big Ten, and Big 12 and ACC media days, we call it talking season. Steve Spurrier coined that 30 years ago. Well, you know what this is in the NFL? Lion season. So, I mean, Andrew Berry can say it, right? But that doesn't mean he means it, but he's going to say it. I'd be saying the other thing. I'd be like, look, make me an offer. I'll listen to anything. I might hang up on you, but you always listen to every offer. That I truly believe is at his core, and that's what I would be doing if I'm any GM for any player out there. I might hang up on your butt, but I'm going to listen.
I don't think we've had you on since Dan Orlovsky kind of took over the draft world conversation last week, where he came out and said, I'm a Simpson guy over Mendoza. And then he kind of threw out there, Fitzy, hey, I've been reaching out to GMs and decision makers around the league, and there's people that agree with me. What are you hearing about this now Ty Simpson-Mendoza thing? I don't even think it's a thing, but I guess now it's become a talking. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's not. I'm with you, man. This is one where Mendoza's going number 1 overall. Now, could Ty Simpson end up being a better quarterback, as depending on where he ends up and the talent or lack thereof that he has around him? Absolutely, he could. But every NFL GM I've talked to and every NFL scout, I've talked to the same 4, as you guys know, before every single game. And we had Indiana 3 times last year. And the comp I got every single time, and it was damn near unanimous, was Joe Burrow. Now, you're going to pass on a guy who's comp for NFL scouts and 2 GMs is Joe Burrow? I'm not, and that's Mendoza. What is Ty Simpson? I don't know yet. He's only started 15 games. If I'm Ty, I would want to sit and watch and learn the speed of the game and what it truly takes to be a winning NFL quarterback, because he doesn't have nearly the game experience that Mendoza does. I think Mendoza's going number 1 overall. It's a slam dunk. Mark it down. It's over. Simpson, I think could be 16 to the Jets, or somewhere in the mid-20s. But I don't think it's even a conversation as to who is a higher draft pick and who will have a more successful career. I do believe it will be Mendoza, but it all depends also on the teams they end up on and what they have around them. Look at Sam Darnold. He's the ultimate example, right? But the Jets, they stunk. You go to the Vikings, we have talent. You go to Seattle, hello, here's a Lombardi. There you go.
Ian Fitzsimmons with us every Monday at this time. Is there a receiver that you like over the rest, or can't go wrong with either Tyson or Tate or
it's
Lemon?
Tate, and I know where I'm on, and I'm not playing up to you at all. But Carnell Tate just has a whip your ass mentality. You need him to block downfield, he'll do it. You need him to run a dig, he'll do it. You need him to wham a freaking outside backer, he'll do it. Oh, by the way, you need him to go and catch 50-50 balls and win, he'll do it. Now, everything I just said, Jordan Tyson isn't quite to me the same physical type player that Tate can be. I know Tate's size every now and then is ripped, and they're saying he doesn't run a 40 very fast. So you know who else didn't run a 40 very fast in a straight line? Puka Nacua. How's that work out for you, right? I don't care how fast you run your 40, right? Do you have football speed? Are you a football player? Tate, to me, is a damn football player. But that is the deepest position, guys. If your NFL team's looking for a wide receiver, one of my guys had 41 draftable grades on wide receivers coming into this draft. Another one had 44 draftable grades on wide receivers. You need one? This is the year right now.
All right. You're on I take Ian Fitzsimmons, not me personally, but I put you on a first date at a baseball game. And so you're on a first date at a baseball game, and the kiss cam focuses on you and your date. Are you hesitating? Are you going all in? Are you reading and reacting her reaction so you know what to do? Or is this a flat no, I'm going to save the first kiss for something that it really deserves something more romantic?
It's a first date?
First date. You get stuck on the kiss cam.
All right, now, knowing my wife and how that first date went, she'd be making a move. Let's just say it wouldn't be toward my mouth. There you go.
Not sure I read that correctly.
Yeah, you do.
This may need a deeper dive. All right, give me a hint. Are you saying that
He's saying the kiss is a lock. Like a kiss.
I'm saying
it's a lock.
Have you ever bobbed for apples?
Okay. All right. This is all right. Done.
Done and done.
Question answered. Run that card to the podium. No reason to use the 10 minutes. She ran the card right to the.
We're not pulling a Jerry Jones and leaving the logo on the screen. Hey, we're getting ready to react. Chat, please. We gone.
You're the man. All right, brother. Great stuff as always.
You asked the question. Yeah. I just answered it.
No, absolutely. You answered it, man. There was no hesitation. Well done. Oh, he's living the life we're all dreaming about. All right, that's our friend Ian Fitzsimmons from ESPN. He was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back with Tell the Truth,
but
after this,
we got a goodie to give away because we're giving away Aviator tickets right now to the game on Friday night, TLC. Do I have that correct?
I believe.
Okay, there you go. 614-821-9710.
Yes,
his hotline. I believe.
I don't know if that was a confirmation.
614-821-9710 is TLC's hotline number. Earlier in the program, We do Party Like a Rock Star on Mondays. AR had a coach in his list of candidates in Party Like a Rock Star. Who was said coach? You get that right, you'll get the tickets to the Aviator game coming up soon.
Friday. Right? Yes. 8 o'clock. DC Defenders.
When you get back from the cruise.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that next. Tell the truth also. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. You know, there was a time if you handed me a bread basket at dinner, it was like feeding a gator. You might lose a finger. Bread, pasta, pizza, man, carbs were undefeated in my life. That is, until Awaken 180 weight loss came in and flipped the script. Look, I've run the gauntlet of diets, and each time, carbs won by knockout. But Awaken 180 isn't a diet. It's a whole new playbook for changed up lifestyle. We all know it's necessary to lose that weight, but this is to keep it off. That constant carb craving, the one we all shrug off as normal, gone. Sure, I still love my pizza, but here's the difference. Now I don't need it. So now, most times when that waiter hustles over with a basket of temptation, I just grin, give a little nod, and wave it away like I'm passing on a 4th and long, because I'm in control now. Awaken 180 isn't just a game changer, it's a life changer. Trust me. Call them at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Your future self will thank you.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Catch all the buzzer beaters, upsets, bracket busters, and more at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. It's the greatest month of the year.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, what are we wearing?
Lie detectors. Anytime a lie is detected, we get a little shock.
All right, let's try them. So, Pella was rated by homeowners as the leading window brand here in Columbus.
Nothing? Okay. Well, our windows can change the look of your home. This thing sometimes shocks you when you tell the truth. Ouch. It's okay. I'm having fun.
Get the windows that can change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, tell the truth, you boys. If Tiger...
Trevor in Delaware, by the way.
Oh, Trevor in Delaware.
Right. That's right.
Good
Shout
job
out to you, Trevor.
Trev knew that Torts was in Party Like a Roth Star today, so good job. You're getting the Aviator tickets.
Yeah, have fun, Trevor. Yeah, absolutely.
Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
You can take the cruise ship all the way up to the stadium.
Wearing your Aviators. All right, so is Tiger Woods... When are people going to... Can he do anything that would make people be unsympathetic for him? Because I feel like it's still the... And don't get me wrong, we all admire his legendary status as an athlete, as a golfer. We get that.
For sure.
But it's almost like if he was a football player, he'd be getting crushed right now. Or some coach, he'd be getting crushed right now. Some guy that the cops believe is impaired, rolling his SUV on a 30-mile-an-hour road. He just got done, coming back to play in the indoor golf league, and he was all ready to kind of maybe start this march to Augusta, maybe. Like,
I think there's a thing that happens to where when people get in some sticky stuff and you like them and who they are as a person, and I'm speaking for everybody, and I shouldn't be doing that, but I just guess I'm going to roll with this, is that you're willing to give them a little bit more grace.
Real quickly, Matty, I was watching the sheriff's press conference with a Tiger fan, and he was, like, getting on the sheriff while we were watching. Like,
for what?
Well, that seems a little personal, or that seems a little, like, opinionated. I'm like, whoa. That's how it's hitting you?
I think when there's that level of emotion in people, you'll get that. If it's someone that they don't respect, that they don't like who they are, whether it's this reason or that reason, those people don't get as much grace. And I think people like Tiger. They like who he is. They love his representation and all of those things. And so when he continues to go down this road, the criticism maybe isn't going to be as harsh as it would be for somebody, let's say if it was, I don't know, Brooks Koepka, AR. He ruffles feathers around the golf world. Would he get this type of grace? Yeah. Probably not, because people don't like him as much. I don't know. That's my take.
I think that sports fans, kind of associate athletes with their own memories. And so I think a lot of people have positive memories of watching Tiger Woods play golf, which is why, in a weird way, they give him more grace than they'd be willing to give a player who wasn't as good on the field.
Yeah.
And so that's just one way about it. Although I do agree with your point that, and I don't know if I can explain this one, but I understand that it's true, that if it were a football player, it would be viewed a little bit differently. And I think that may reveal how people view football players and just like athletes in general, maybe.
I think because I hear what you're saying, but I think we have to get into a conversation of which football player too, right? You know what I mean? Like if this is, I don't know, if this is Calvin Austin for your Steelers, it's not hitting the same if it's DK Metcalf. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Maybe it's like the violence of the sport kind of. I don't know, or maybe just,
I like where you're going with that.
But there's also something too, just like the popularity of football. I think people, and maybe I'm projecting my own thoughts that I've had before, but there may be like a cynicism that deep down, like with football being like the sport in America, that these guys are all like arrogant jerks and they think they're above the law. And like, for example, like popularity basically does not exist in college. Like no one cares what you were like in high school and what you were like. Everyone's just doing their own thing. The only popularity that exists is, are you a football player or not? Like that is like the status at Ohio State is like everyone's just a regular ass student unless you're a football player, and then everyone knows who you are. And like, so I think there is a cynicism that football players do kind of like act a certain way, or they carry themselves a certain way in a way that like that stigma isn't applied to golf, if that makes sense. But it seems like you liked an earlier point that I said better than what I just said.
So talk about that.
If you remember, because I just threw a lot at you.
We can do more of it tomorrow. It's an ongoing,
hot potatoed.
certainly an ongoing deal. No, I respect the fact that it is difficult to talk about, that there is not really a cut and dried response, because most people, unless you just never liked him, period, or thought he was too arrogant or too whatever, and just didn't like I think people have turned. He's become a little bit of a sympathetic figure, the way he kind of turned his life upside down, even though he did it to himself. And the fact that his son seems very well adjusted. His daughter is too. His son's going to go play golf at Florida State. Like, they get to playing father-son stuff. Like, you kind of root for that. I remember when he had the accident in California 4 or 5 years ago, I remember we were on the air, and somebody asked us, "Do you think he'll play again?" I go, "You know what I think he really wants to do? Be able to say he could play golf with his son. That's probably all he really cares about right now." And now he's an aging legend. They all want to stay relevant, but he's got some serious issues, and I don't know whether it just seems like it's more slanted towards irresponsibility. Like, okay, I'm not in his body. I have no idea the pain he has to kill every day. I have no idea. Just don't get behind the wheel of a car. Like, I got no problem with him trying to get through his day. But if he feels he can do both, and then when he is behind said car, what's going on? Yeah, like his decision making even then, even if he is slightly impaired. I don't know.
To bring another comp into this, I think that if there is a significant fall from grace that happens to Shedeur Sanders, the noise will be a lot louder than what it would be for another quarterback that's soft-spoken. And so I don't even know if that makes sense in the conversation we're talking about, but I think when somebody has this personality that's loud and can come across as arrogant, if that player
100%.
Steps in some
when
stuff,
they screw up,
they're not going to get the love and grace that another quarterback would get if he was just say, "Hey, I just want to be a good teammate," type of guy.
But this also does speak to not just how known Tiger Woods is, but how his approval rating was so high. Like, Shedeur Sanders has an approval rating right now that is all over the place. So he is very popular in the sense that he's widely known. But is he popular in the sense that he's a high approval rating? Tiger Woods had both. I think it's interesting that you brought up the point, AR, about his son, because anything that has to do with his son on social media explodes. Like, here's Tiger's golfing with his son, and I'm like, who cares?
We'll have to talk about this more tomorrow.
I'm going to give you I'll wrap it up real quickly in 10 seconds. Hours after his mugshot was released, this latest one, they were slapping it on T-shirts and getting $125 for it in every size.
That happened with Scotty too, didn't it?
Yeah.
After he got arrested. We got to go. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. Jason Stark joins at 5:30. We'll talk to you tomorrow at High Noon. Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan.